to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 16 degrees at 7 o'clock. I'm David Ballarano. The snow has ended for now, leaving as much as 3 to 5 inches in some areas. More is expected later today as well. The high temperature for the day is not even expected to reach 20 degrees. We'll check the AccuWeather forecast in a moment. Meantime, EV True Value Home Improvement Hour host Andy Amrine says your best bet for treating your sidewalks is a magnesium-based snow melt.
My favorite all-around product is your magnesium-based products because it's safe for the environment, safe for everything, and it does work below zero.
A house fire last night in Tarentum. Social media videos show crews battling a smoky fire along the 900 block of Corbett Street. No word yet on the cause or if anyone was injured. Also, crews are now checking out reports of a house fire in Bloomfield on the 200 block of South Matilda. A suspect is in custody after he was shot by police following a car chase yesterday. State police say it began after an Infiniti was stolen from Crafton around 9:30 a.m. Saturday. Police say that when they began to pursue the vehicle, the driver fled, finally abandoning the vehicle on foot near Crane Avenue near Sawmill Run Boulevard. An officer then fired shots, striking the suspect, who was then taken to a local hospital for treatment before finally being released to state police custody. The incident remains under investigation. The search also continues for the person responsible for the latest campus shooting. 2 students died and 9 other people were hurt in an engineering building at Brown University Saturday. The incident triggering a shelter-in-place action for campus and the surrounding area, which remained in effect overnight. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley.
We have shared the image of the individual we believe to be the shooter. We know that there is not a clear shot of the face in what was provided, but we continue to canvass the neighborhood and the campus for additional video footage, still photography, and are interviewing witnesses.
Australian police say the Bondi Beach shooting was a terrorist attack that killed at least 12 people, including one of the gunmen. Another gunman was wounded and is in custody. CBS News correspondent Anna Corin is in Australia and is working her way to Bondi Beach.
6:40 p.m. local time, 2 gunmen opened fire at Hanukkah Festival right next to the pavilion, next to the park, clearly targeting this Jewish festival.
Police say 29 people were wounded, including 2 officers. At the White House, President Donald Trump tells reporters that the Americans and Syrians who were attacked yesterday were attacked by the Islamic State.
We mourn the loss of 3 great patriots in Syria. You know how it happened. It was an ambush, terrible. We also have 3 wounded. They seem to be doing pretty well.
And
Syria, by the way, was fighting along with us. The new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria.
KDKA Sports, the Sharks bite the Pens last night. Rob Pratt will have sports coming up at 7:15. KDK Radio News Time 7:03. Time to visit BLOCS.org today. Change a student's life and get 90% back on your PA taxes. Right now it's 16 degrees and partly cloudy around the Pittsburgh area. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Okay, listen. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh, it is officially open. Find the Bocce House RIDC Park on Alpha Drive. Memberships, a luxury cigar lounge, league play for all skill levels. Do this. Grab some friends, enjoy delicious food, pour yourself a drink at the self-pour bar system. The fun is in your hands. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh in Fox Chapel, where great food, great drinks, and even better company meet on that bocce court. Visit theboccehouse.com for details.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a frigid second half of the weekend with snow and flurries continuing at times into the evening with little or no additional accumulation expected, high 17, then cloudy and cold the rest of tonight, low 13, followed by a very cold day tomorrow with some flurries and a high of 21, then less cold for Tuesday with clouds and sun, high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Gardening gifts and questions on the phone lines for the full hour, 866-391-1020. But being that it's the holidays, the folks at Sorgles are giving us an opportunity to give away
a $100
gift card. If you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020, you win a $100 gift card from Sorgles. Thank you, Randy, and everyone out there in Wexford. But again, wide open today from gifts to gardening questions, 866-391-1020. And here he is, star of the show, Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
Good morning. Do not go out there. If you're going to church or shopping or whatever you have planned, do not do it because the roads are absolutely one of the worst days I've ever driven. Maybe I should have done it over the phone, but I've got four-wheel drive. How I'm getting up that driveway when I get done with this, I have no idea. That was pretty bad. You know how everybody nowadays, maybe this is old man talk, but drives like an idiot? Well, even in this weather, they're driving like idiots. You know, it's supposed to be 45 miles an hour. People are flying by me, trucks. Don't go out there. My road actually is taken care of by the county, and they never get to my road until who knows when. Maybe when the sun comes up, we'll be doing a little better, but do not go out there. All this snow is actually a positive for the garden, believe it or not. When it gets cold like this, this kind of snow is a mulch for the garden, and it will keep all those freshly planted bulbs and other things, perennials and anything else that's under the snow is going to be happier under the snow than without snow. I did get all my bulbs planted last Sunday, and I had a couple emails from people just saying, I can't get out there today. I heard you on the radio saying it's probably the last day to plant bulbs. Can I get out there and plant my bulbs? Well, of course, today is not the day. But when this thaw comes up at the, Wednesday, Thursday, you might be able to do it. Whatever you can do, try and get these bulbs in the ground instead of trying to save them until spring. It's very difficult to save bulbs. And even the bulbs that I had probably for 6 weeks, some of them were starting to get soft, and it's just better to get them into the ground. If you can't, if our window has closed due to the weather, which I don't believe it has. But if it has, then the other choice would be to put them into containers. And so that would be the way to do it. You get a big container, and really the best way to do this, you fill that container up with moist soil, just barely moist. You don't want it to be soaking wet because you'll rot the bulbs. But then putting several layers in, tulips on the bottom, then daffodils, then crocus, and snowdrops, something like that. And then that goes into the garage. And you just leave that in the garage. You don't want it out under the rain and snow because, again, they'll rot. Throw them into the garage, someplace where it stays pretty cold most of the winter. Don't have a lot of thaws and a lot of changes. And that's the way to do it. Other than that, just get them in the ground. Now, today's show, like Rob said, it's all your calls. So everybody's home. You're sitting in your nice warm house. Give me a call. We want to talk about what you have planned for next season. If you've started your planning, if you've started looking at seeds, call 866-391-1020. I would love to talk to you today. Otherwise, you're just going to hear me blather on about everything in the garden. And since we're talking about planning, I've had a lot of questions about a tomato that our friend Nikki Jabor talked about. My friend Lori emailed me and a couple other people. So the tomato that she's going nuts over the last few seasons is called Midnight Roma. It's like a purple sauce tomato, and this is a quote from her because I didn't remember her talking about this, but I had a couple messages about it. So I sent her an email, and she said she told me the name of it. This is her quote: "It's amazing," and that's in all caps with 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation points, marks, exclamation marks. And then great fresh, and also makes a wonderful sauce. So you can just search it on Google and you'll find the seeds on there. And this is the explanation that I got from one of the catalogs. A deep purple red paste tomato packed with phytonutrients, which is a good thing, whatever phytonutrients are. In the rows, it will stop you in your tracks. In the kitchen, this purple wonder shines for its quick cook time and memorable flavor. 80 days to maturity, so you want to get it started early. Semi-determinate, meaning that it will not just become a 8-foot-tall plant. It will stay relatively small. Semi-determinate probably means, 4 feet, 5 feet tall in full sun. An interesting thing about some of these purple tomatoes, the purple color of this one increases with direct sun, and consider that when planting it. Now, 2 years ago, I had planted blueberry tomato, it's called. Blueberries, 2 words. Because I thought it was something unique, something different, something weird. I found that the tomato was really cool looking and really fun to give to the grandkids, being, a little purple cherry. But that one was not great tasting. It was just kind of novelty. But same sort of thing, that some of the tomatoes would stay like just regular red, and then others that got that full sun would have that purple in it. And the purple is good for you because it's got all sorts of cancer-fighting stuff in there. And that's just one of the ones I'm gonna give a shot to, something different. When somebody like Nikki, who has an amazing garden, an amazing garden author, when she puts that "it's amazing" with the all caps, then I know it is a great tomato. I also got caught bringing in more plants. I'm not allowed to bring any more plants into where I have a little table for house plants, but I snuck 3 in, hoping that the boss wouldn't notice, but she did, but I didn't get in trouble. I waited a little too long for an elephant ear, and it was in the greenhouse, and the top of it froze, but I'm thinking it might sprout from the bottom, and we'll see. I hope so. As I said, I got those bulbs planted. That was the best feeling, but so ridiculous of me to be still having 100 bulbs to plant and ordering another 100 just of something unique and different. Of course, it was on sale. That's The other thing that I was surprised about was when I was planting those bulbs was how dry the soil still was. Normally when I'm planting bulbs, I have more moisture in there, and that's from that at the end of the season, that drought that we had. And again, it was quite a surprise, but so glad to get it done. Even when I did finish planting those bulbs, I started looking at the catalogs, but I was like, no, don't order anything else. It's going to get snowy. It's going to get cold. You don't need to plant anything else. You've planted 1,000 bulbs. That's enough for the season. But that anticipation when I'm planting those bulbs, yes, it's hard work, but pretty easy with a bulb auger, to tell you the truth. You can put 100 in 20 minutes, maybe less. But now, just under that blanket of snow, waiting for the daffodils. So, we're going to take a little break. Give us a call, and we'd love to talk to you.
866-391-1020, and we're going to talk to Bob in Verona in moments. It's Doug Oster, DougOster.com, the organic gardener on KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hey, your Pratt Pack, your one-stop shop for all things Christmas, open daily, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Janoski's, the farm market, Christmas decorations, stocking stuffers, candy, chocolate, gifts, and more. In the wine room, how about this? 10% off your purchase of 2 or more bottles of wine. New markdowns on wine accessories at the Garden Center. Pre-cut Christmas trees, wreaths, fresh garland, and more. At the Greenhouse, beautiful poinsettias, open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Happy holidays from Janoski's.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-1 set winners over number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four. Pitt basketball not as fortunate. They lost to Villanova 79-61. Elsewhere in regional hoop action on the collegiate level, it was Ohio State defeating West Virginia 89-88. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State loses to the Spartans 76-72. Robert Morris, a winner over Toledo 75-70. The Dukes in Nevada, they lost 78-75. In overtime, it was the Pens losing to the Sharks 6-5. They take on Utah today. College football, Mount Lebanon native Eli Heinrich scored, and Navy had a thrilling 17-16 win over Army. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. He, of course, from the number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, and the Steelers in Miami tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. My friends at MediConnect tell me between now and March 31st, they are in an open enrollment period for Medicare. You know it's confusing. If you have any questions about your current coverage or your benefits, now's the time to take a look. Could a new 5-star plan work better? Are you overpaying with prescriptions or other copays? 888-818-6334. MediConnect is local. They've got experts. They'll guide you through Medicare. No cost, no obligation. 888-818-6334.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
Planning ahead and also some great gift-giving ideas is all about gardening. And here's your gift. He's going to take your phone calls until 8 o'clock. 866-391-1020. Here's Bob in Verona, and we've got lines available, so jump in here and spend a little time with Uncle Dougie today. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Doug. I had a spider plant on my kitchen
windowsill for about a year, and it's in water. And it's fine. The roots are about like maybe 2 inches thick on it. And every time I try to get a transplanted plant that's been in water into soil, it dies. So I was wondering what I could do to avoid that.
That's a good question, because it should, with a spider plant, it should go pretty easy. I guess what I would recommend would be start with a very light mix, something you would get from like a garden center or nursery that would be what we call a planting mix. And it's instead of like a potting soil, and it would be a lot lighter. Then I would gently put that plant into a little bit of that planting mix, and then I would add planting mix around the roots, and then keep it on the dry side. It needs moisture, but not like super wet. And that might seem ironic since it's growing in water, but the way that the soil holds the water, we just want it to stay kind of on the dry side would be better for that plant. How many times have you tried to make that transition from water to soil?
0.
Oh, all right. Well, then
I did bad luck doing it.
Well, let's give it another try, just because it can't go forever in that water, and I'm surprised it's gone as long as it has. Have you been like changing the water? Is that the idea, to keep it going, or what has kept it going? Okay, changing the water.
Yeah, I've been changing the water. Usually the water evaporates a little, and then I change it, put more water in. Now, when I put it into that medium, you said put it in slowly. Like, should I leave some water in the cup that I have it in, and then put the soil in with it?
I would move it. You got to move it to a pot that has good drainage. That's the most important thing. So you're moving it to another pot that has holes in the bottom. And then maybe you put a little dish underneath that so it doesn't, when you water it, it doesn't leak onto the table or whatever it might be. And then you're completely discarding the other thing, the glass or whatever it's in, because in the soil, in the planting medium, it's going to need to stay dry, to dry out. That's the key to making this transition. That's a little bit of moisture, and then let it dry out, and it'll catch on. Spider plants are tough. And then the good news is, when that thing starts growing in dirt or in that planting mix, you'll start to get the babies. Do you know how to separate the babies from the plant?
I think you leave them attached to the plant, and you put the baby in soil.
Exactly.
While it's still attached.
Exactly. And when it roots, then you can separate from the mother plant, and you'll have, in your case, you'll probably put the baby into water because you're so good at that, and it'll root into the water, and then you can do the thing all over again. And once it sends out roots, you'll be good to go. How did you get the spider plant, and why is it in water? Was it a gift or something, or how did you do it in water?
No, I think I was leaving like maybe a Lowe's, and there was a little piece, sitting on the ground near the parking lot, and I just picked it up and figured I'd put it in the water and see what happened.
So you're doing a good deed, recycling that plant. Now that it's been going for a year, get it into that planting medium. You can buy just a little itty-bitty bag of planting mix. The thing is, with that planting mix, what you want to do is you want to put it into something else, into like a bigger container, and add water until you just get a little bit of moisture in that soil, so that when you squeeze that soil together, that planting mix, it sticks together. But you don't squish any water out of it. If that happens, then you add a little bit more mix to dry it out, and then you'll be good to go. You'll see. You'll make this transition. Once you do this, and it starts doing really well, give me a call back and let me know that everything worked out, and I'd love to hear about it. All right?
Okay, thank you, and have a good Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
So I wonder how many people get plants for Christmas and then they become gardeners.
That's a good question. I wonder if you're growing plants inside, you know that you love plants. The problem on my table is that I've got a crazy dog that has separation anxiety, and that's where he goes. He jumps up on the table and he starts tearing the plants apart. That's one of the reasons I'm not supposed to bring any more in, but I had repotted some house plants, put them in the greenhouse for the summer. Always wait to the last minute till it gets too cold, but I got a couple of them in and they're fine. But that's starting growing on your windowsill might lead you towards gardening. It's so nice, actually. Gardening went through the roof during COVID, of course. Everyone was stuck at home, and everyone wanted privacy when they were stuck at home, so they were putting in these evergreen trees. Well, that trend has continued, and so we've got so many more younger families gardening, and it's wonderful to see, you know, usually my audience, as you can imagine, is a little bit older, as I am, and it's kind of nice to see, like, young first-time, second-time homeowners learning about gardening, because it is a wonderful way to grow your own food and to, you know, the therapeutic nature of gardening. All us old gardeners know that. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about getting your tools ready for spring, because they do need maintenance. That's part of what you need to do. And so that's something I learned, actually, when I was speaking to sheet metal workers, a whole group of sheet metal workers. That's not my normal audience. Usually it's, you know, garden clubs and stuff like that. And so I was a little nervous about it, but they gave me some good tips on, you know, getting your tools ready and keeping them nice. My garden tools are from my grandparents, so I want to keep them looking good, and I want to pass them down to the next generation and the one after that. So I'll have some tips on how to keep them doing their thing and looking nice and continue to work in the garden.
All right, 866-391-1020. We'd love to hear from more of you this morning. It's about planning ahead for next year already, and also some great gift ideas, maybe, or anything on your mind in the way of gardening. Doug taking your calls until 8. We have all of our lines available. 866-391-1020. It is the Organic Gardener. Next hour, the Coons Cooking Hour. 9 o'clock, we're back in Open Talk. 10 o'clock, Accurate Solutions. And then the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, featuring from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ray Fittipaldo, to preview tomorrow night's Steelers matchup against Miami here in Pittsburgh at AccuShore Stadium. David Bolorado at the anchor desk. He's coming up next with the news at 7:30. Delicious December savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dantisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Sugardale semi-bonus whole hams, $1.29 a pound. California Sunkissed Nave Orange is 6 for $2. And selected varieties of Tide Simply Laundry Detergent, 31 to 32-ounce bottles, $1.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Amish Country Farm brand Spiral Cut Ham, $2.99 a pound. Selected varieties of Sugardale Bacon, 1 pound package, $3.99 each. In our produce department, Golden Ripe Pineapples, $2.99 each. And Baby Bella Mushrooms, 10-ounce package, 2 for $6. In our deli department, Cooper's Yellow or White Sharp American Cheese, $5.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Wishbone Salad Dressing, 15-ounce bottles, 2 for $5.
So get in on the delicious December savings happening right now at Coons Market. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on CoonsMarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
As we grow older, we all need a little more help. That's why the elder law firm of Julian Gray Associates has a full-time social worker on staff to help you with challenges that lie ahead. To arrange a no-obligation consultation, please visit grayelderlaw.com and grow old with us.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
We have spent an inordinate amount of time turning on CNN or Fox News or hell, even C-SPAN, worried about all these vaccines, as opposed to talking to someone whose boots are on the ground, people who we should trust.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 16 degrees at 7:30. I'm David Ballarado.
This just in. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
A news conference just wrapping up. The police in Rhode Island say they have a person of interest in custody after that shooting at Brown University, which killed 2 people and wounded 9 others. It happened Saturday afternoon in a classroom during final exams. Surveillance video showed the suspect dressed in black calmly walking away. That shooting paralyzed the campus, with students sheltering in place for hours. 9 people with gunshot wounds were taken to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. Authorities believe the shooter used a handgun. CBS News correspondent Kristen Benavides has more on the White House reaction.
The White House said President Trump was briefed on the shooting.
What a terrible thing it is. And all we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame.
FBI and ATF agents are on scene, assisting local and state agencies in their investigation.
Here in Pittsburgh, now that the snow has stopped, PennDOT is making some adjustments to the travel advisories it had issued yesterday. In the immediate Pittsburgh area, the agency has removed its temporary restrictions on certain vehicles, basically covering things like oversized loads, RVs, motorcycles, and empty commercial vehicles. These have been lifted for I-79 from the Turnpike to the West Virginia border, all of I-279 and 579, I-376 from the Turnpike I-376 to the Turnpike I-76, and the reduced speed limits have been lifted in some areas, including I-70 and I-79 in the Southwest region. PennDOT still advises people to avoid any unnecessary travel. With sub-freezing temperatures lingering for a few days, EV True Value Home Improvement Hour host Andy Amrine says be careful with space heaters.
My favorite's the oil-filled heaters, but there's a lot of different heaters. The biggest thing is safety on heaters. You can never, ever plug a heater into an extension cord, or even worse would be a power strip. They got to be plugged into the outlet using those space heaters.
He says heat cables for your pipes can help to prevent them from freezing over, and he also says to make sure your furnace has a clean filter and make sure your thermostat batteries are fresh, since they only last about 6 months. As the temperatures drop into the teens, the city is helping those in need. News Radio KDKA's Margot Rensel explains.
City Parks is activating 5 healthy active living centers as warming centers today from noon to 6 p.m. Press Secretary Olga George told KDKA Radio what people can expect.
There will be snacks. People will be able to play games and socialize and be very warm in the building.
The centers are located in Beachview, Greenfield, Homewood, Sheridan, and Southside. Margot Rensel, News Radio, KDKA.
And Bell Vernon area school district officials say police are investigating a series of social media threats involving Ross Draver Elementary, and there will be extra police on hand when students are scheduled to return to the classroom tomorrow morning. The district says the move came after they started to receive a series of Safe to Say reports following the school day on Friday regarding social media and group chat comments. KDKA Sports, bad Saturday night for the Penguins. Rob Pratt will check sports coming up in just a few moments. KDKA Radio News Time, 7:33. It's currently 16 degrees. It's partly cloudy around the Pittsburgh area. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents
and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Oakmont Bakery. Cookie trays piled high. The Christmas Yule log. The famous Oakmonter. The chocolate fudge torte. The burnt almond torte. Fresh fruit tarts. Rich and creamy cheesecakes. Oakmont Bakery is now taking orders for Christmas until December 16th. Visit online at oakmontbakery.com or stop in to check out this charming holiday wonderland. Merry Christmas. And remember, at Oakmont Bakery, we believe in delicious memories.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, Bills Happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a bitterly cold day with a gusty wind and intermittent snow and flurries lasting into the evening. Not expected to accumulate all that much with a high of 17. Then it stays cloudy and colder tonight with a low of 13. Tomorrow brings clouds and a few flurries with a high of just 21. Then clouds and sun on Tuesday, high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, let's make the 10th caller a winner. $25 gift certificate to Janowski's. 412-922-1020. 10th caller wins it. All right, now, I want more of you on the phone lines for Doug. He's here to take your calls till 8 o'clock. 866-391-1020. Here's Larry in Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood, Florida. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing well, and you guys doing good?
Good.
Good. I'm out walking. You may hear some traffic. This is the time of year you plant tomatoes down here, and I've been doing it for years. This year, I have 3 different varieties of tomatoes, put them in containers, and they did real good for a while, and now the leaves that are coming out are all gnarled, and they're turning yellow. And I've never had this happen before, except for one plant. One plant's doing fine. The leaves are nice and flat and green. But the other 7, they're all different varieties. The leaves are coming up, and they're just tight. They're putting on blossoms, but they're not putting out any fruit. And I water them every 2 days, keep them wet, because I've heard you say, when they're containerized, to give them enough water. And I'm perplexed as to what's going on.
Well, my concern is that it might be too much water. That's every 2 days might be a little bit too much, and that's what I'm thinking. But let's go over what you're doing now. You've been doing this for a long time, right? So
yeah, I've been down here for almost 40 years now. I moved from Pittsburgh.
It must be tough. Today we have probably 7-8 inches of snow, and you're out walking, huh?
I have family that still live up there, so I keep track. No, it went down to 70 last night, and it's to 80 today.
Oh, that's tough. And so, are the plants?
I know.
Are the plants outside?
Yes, they are outside on the south side of my house, where I've grown them for years and years. And I don't have. The only thing I can think of is the soil. Maybe there's something, because I every year I don't dump them completely, but I add fertilizer and additional soils and stuff to them. And that's the only thing, because one plant's doing beautiful, the other 7 are not doing anything.
Are they in containers?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so here
I have like half barrels and 5-gallon buckets and stuff like that.
All right, so here's what to do. Just stick your finger as far down as you can into that soil and see if it's moist or dry. If it's moist, you wait a little bit until it dries out a little bit. That's really my guess, is that for some reason it's not draining as well as it should. That sounds like an indication of either overwatering or there's not enough nutrients left in that soil to get those tomatoes going good. But
I put a big handful of granular fertilizer in when
so that's not the problem. My guess is going to be some type of watering issue. So when how big are they now at this time of the year in Florida? How big are the plants?
They're about 18 inches, 20 inches. I mean, some of them have stagnated. They're not doing anything. The other one's coming up and touching the hurricane shutters. I mean, it's up to my waist.
I check
in October.
I check that watering and see what that looks like there. I think something's going on there as far as the drainage. Check that soil and see what it feels like. And the opposite, if which I can't imagine it being since you're watering every couple days. If it's super dry, you
still sunny, hot here, yeah.
Right, I know that. But if it's completely dry, then that's the issue there too. So I would look at the watering first, because I don't think it could be nutrients, because again, it's containers and you put some fertilizer in there. Especially with your experience at growing, I'm surprised to hear what's going on.
I've had abundant growth where I've given everybody in the neighborhood stuff, and this year it's not going to happen.
Do you know what kind of varieties of tomatoes you're growing?
There's a Better Boy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Purple Heirloom, and then there's one other one that I don't remember. So like I said, there's 3 different kinds, and they took off beautifully, and now they've just sort of stagnated. And the stems themselves are as big as your thumb. I mean, the plants look great, but they're not doing anything.
I would again take a look at that watering. Give me a call back next week and see what that does, what you find when you're checking the watering level there, and we can talk about it some more. If it's not the watering, we're gonna have to figure out something else. So good luck.
Take one of the smaller ones and change the soil completely.
That might be an idea too, where you might pull them and kind of aerate that soil a little bit, then stick them back in there, or maybe get a little bit more soil and throw them in there. That would be something to do too. But Larry, give us a call back next week. Let me know what's going on. Thanks, Larry.
All right, let's get to Nancy in Arnold for Doug Oster. Hi, Nancy. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I have 2 Christmas cactuses, and they're in full bloom right now. Very beautiful. One is pink and one is orange. And they are rather old. I acquired them from my grandmother. Now, the one is losing the leaves on it. Every time I go to look at it, I see more things down on the floor. What can I do to prevent this, or maybe I'm taking care of them the wrong way?
Well, how long have you been growing them?
Oh, I've had them in my possession since the 90s.
Okay, so you're experienced at growing them. The first thing we look at is just like those tomatoes we're talking about. The first thing we're looking at is the watering. The only way to really mess up a Christmas cactus is either completely neglect it or not watering it at all. I mean, or overwatering it. And so those are the 2 things that happen. Then the third thing would be maybe it's used up everything in that pot, and it might be time to go up to 1 pot bigger. Again, with this planting mix you would get from a garden center, you get it moist, and then you move the plant from 1 pot to another. You got to have to be careful with this plant because it has such a rich history for your family. I would also want to make some more of those plants by just kind of pulling off some of the leaves and putting them into soil with just clear plastic around them to keep the humidity up, and then they'll root, and you'll have some others just in case something happens here. But first thing is, just like we talked about with the last caller, is push your finger down into that pot. See what you feel. Go as far as you can and see if it's wet or dry, and that'll give you an indication. If it's real wet, that's your issue. It's not draining right, or it's not using the water. How often are you watering?
Once a week.
Okay, that might be a little bit much for a Christmas cactus, but let's just see what it is once you get your finger down in there and see if it's. My guess is it's going to be pretty moist. I'm letting my Christmas cactus go a couple weeks at least before watering.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
so,
what about plant food? Plant food. I give it plant food once in the summer. Is that's
about right? You wouldn't want to do that right now. We don't have long enough days to be able to for the plant to be able to use those nutrients. So we would wait.
Oh, okay.
We would wait for fertilization until usually early March. The fact that it's blooming, though, is a positive. It means that it's healthy.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's really, but like I say, they just keep dropping off.
The first thing is to look at that watering. That's the first thing I would look at.
Okay.
You might, even though you're experienced at growing this plant, you might have an issue where over the years it's not draining. And so then it's going to be real wet in there, and that's the worst thing you can do for a Christmas cactus is to give it too much water. All right, Nancy?
We'll check on that. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Love the show.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
866-391-1020. We have lines available. Questions for Doug. One more segment to go. And then we're talking parties. We're talking the holidays on the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-1 set winners over number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four. Pitt basketball not as fortunate. They lost to Villanova 79-61. Elsewhere in regional hoop action on the collegiate level, it was Ohio State defeating West Virginia 89-88. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State loses to the Spartans 76-72. Robert Morris a winner over Toledo 75-70. The Dukes in Nevada, they lost 78-75. In overtime, it was the Pens losing to the Sharks 6-5. They take on Utah today. College football, Mount Lebanon native Eli Heinrich scored, and Navy had a thrilling 17-16 win over Army. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. He, of course, from the number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, and the Steelers in Miami tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
Well, the holidays are here, and we at Sorgles want to say, first of all, thank you to you, our customers, for a blessed year. Hi, this is Randy Sorgel, and we want to welcome you to Sorgles in Wexford for all of your holiday shopping. We have poinsettias, houseplants, wreaths, garlands, and greens to help you decorate. Visit our greenhouse that is truly something like you have not seen here before. And our home accents has unique decorating and gift ideas, especially our baby apparel. Parents and grandparents, if you need a special outfit for your child or grandchild, please come now while the selection is amazing. But I also want to tell you plant lovers to visit our new website edition. Go to reserveandroot.com. You will now be able to pre-order plants and pick them up when they arrive from our suppliers. This includes everything from houseplants to apple trees for next spring. Sorgles, 724-935-2090, right off the Wexford exit of I-79.
Hello, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my daughter Sarah and son Lester. Every year, my 5 grandchildren, ages 6 to 15, come into the office to stuff, seal, and stamp holiday cards for clients. While they're here, I like to give each of them a lesson on how to give a firm handshake and look a person in the eye with a smile. I want our kids to learn how to genuinely talk with people, and you can't connect with someone when your head is buried in a phone. Every year we host a client appreciation event, and in the weeks before, I work with my grandchildren on how to greet our clients with eye contact, a handshake, and a heartfelt word of gratitude for working with us. I want them to know that the clients who put their trust in us are the reason our family firm is successful. This holiday season, my heart is filled with gratitude for my wife, Barb, our children and grandchildren, and for the families who've trusted mine to be their advisors. It's an honor. Find out more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Yes, he is for a few more minutes. 866-391-1020. Here's Tom in the North Hills. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Okay. I have a question. I heard this or read it somewhere that when it snows, the snow adds nitrogen to your soil. And I was wondering if it's true, and if it is true, does it really make that much difference?
Well, it is true. As far as what the difference is, I'm not sure. But I know that snow is a positive not only for mulching, but also for adding a little bit of nitrogen to the soil. I can't imagine it being that much, but it's definitely a positive. I drove in from the North Hills, Tom. I hope you're staying home today.
Yeah, I'm driving today.
Can you come over and do my driveway?
I'll try, but don't count on it.
It's only a half mile long with a switchback in it up at the top of a mountain, so it's pretty easy.
Also, if it rains, if snow adds nitrogen, would rain add nitrogen also?
It does. It does. It's definitely a positive. I'll have to really look more into the nitrogen thing with the snow, but I've always heard that just like you have, Tom, and I know that it's true. But how much nitrogen is the question? That would be the interesting thing to know. What are you going to grow this year? Anything new? Anything weird? Anything cool?
Well, I think I'll cut back on my tomatoes because
what?
I don't know. I never really had. I'll put it this way: 15 years ago, I had so many tomatoes, and I would cook them down, and make sauce, and then put them in the freezer. And I might have had 10 or 15, maybe 20 containers of, those little Cool Whip containers in my freezer. And now I get just barely enough to, and I have the same number of plants, and I move my tomatoes different locations in the garden, and so forth, and it just doesn't seem to click anymore.
How about adding something to the soil? That's what I would do. I would get some bags of really good compost, and then also there's a fertilizer I love. It's organic, and it's easy to find, and it's inexpensive. It's called Tomato Tone. I bet you if you just bought like a bag of compost for each plant and dug it into the soil and then threw that Tomato Tone in there, you'd have your.
I do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I also, like composting.
Yeah.
I take my compost and I dig a hole in my garden and throw it in, and I do that all over my garden.
Well, that's what you should be doing.
I've been doing that for. I guess I've lived in my house now close to 40 years, so I've been doing that for 40 years, and I have this one, what's it called, a smoke bush, and it puts out these spikes. And I cut them down, I cut them in little pieces, and I bury those in my garden. And my grasses, I cut those up and throw them into the garden. So,
all right,
I don't know.
That's all the right stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is now I put a big covering over my tomatoes because the deer. One time the deer never bothered them.
Yeah, they love tomato plants. Tom, I got to let you go. I got a couple other callers I want to get to before we get out of time here.
All right, 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can give each a minute. Let's go to Barbara in Forest Hills. Hey, Barbara.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to know what the best time to transplant a viburnum nudum.
The best time is already passed. The best time to do it is in the fall. The next best time is in the spring. Is it something that has to be moved?
What happened is everything around it has grown up so much that I didn't even get like the blue and pink berries this year.
Yeah, I'd do it in the spring. As soon as the weather breaks, move it in the spring. Let's see if we can get one more caller in there real quick.
All right, Beverly in Beaver. Go ahead, Bev.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
So excited about this beautiful snow that I can see outside. Anyways.
You wouldn't be so excited if you drove in through it.
I guess not. Anyways, I wanted to know, my neighbor got me a beautiful calla lily. I was just in the hospital. I just got out maybe a couple of weeks ago. And every morning I'm looking. Right now it has no flowers at all. And what can I do to? I don't know. I want to keep it going. So what do I do?
Grow it as a house plant now on the windowsill. Don't overwater it, and then don't worry, it's not going to flower inside probably. Then when we get to about May 15th, take that plant outside, give it a good spot, and let it do its thing, and then you'll start to get your flowers. It'll flower most of the summer. Then it's going to need to come back in for the winter. It's not hardy in our climate, so that's the things to do. Remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
All right, Doug, good job. Great seeing you. Stay with us. News with David, latest on the weather, all sorts of developing stories today. A mass shooting at a Hanukkah celebration in Australia and a suspect in custody in the deadly shooting at Brown University. That's moments away at 8 o'clock. And then we continue with Pittsburgh Works programming. Frank Dentisi getting ready for the holidays on the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA. It's your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Construction on Penn Start, a testing track for autonomous vehicle companies and emergency responders commencing. President of RIDC, we have Mr. Don Smith.
And it's a partnership to really bring this testing environment that'll help keep the jobs from companies like Aurora and Stack and Motional here in the region.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Tune in to KDKA at midnight on Christmas Eve for a special Christmas Mass from Queen of the Rosary Church Saints Joachim and Parish. Christmas has special meetings, and this annual Christmas Mass broadcast is proudly presented by Rome Monument, a company that knows about special meanings. As the Tri-State's largest memorial company founded by Michael Diagardi, Rome Monument is a fourth-generation family-owned business. Their special Christmas gift is providing a Christmas Eve Mass broadcast on KDKA. Merry Christmas from the Diagardi family.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-830-4914. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 16 degrees at 8 o'clock. I'm David Bolorado. Expect cold weather to continue today. The forecast calling for an occasional flurry with more snow moving in later on. The high temperatures not expected to hit the 20-degree mark. And a winter weather advisory is in effect until 1 p.m. We'll have the echo of the forecast coming up in just a moment. State police continue to investigate an officer-involved shooting this weekend. This began with a stolen car chase around 9:30 a.m. Saturday. Police say the driver failed to stop when they turned on their lights, and the vehicle was then abandoned on Crane Avenue in the city. Police say the driver fled on foot, and then an officer fired a shot, injuring the suspect. That suspect was then treated at a local hospital and released into state police custody. For the second time in a week, officials are investigating threats being made against the Bell Vernon area school district. The district notified parents Saturday that police will be on hand as a precaution tomorrow at Ross River Elementary School after they received a series of safe-to-say reports about a potential threat. On Tuesday, the district investigated a middle school student after he allegedly threatened to bring a gun to school that day. A suspect in the Brown University shooting is now in custody. 2 were killed and 9 others were injured. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley.
The individuals who are recovering at Rhode Island Hospital. There remain 7 individuals in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged. Those are the 9 individuals injured yesterday.
And the shelter-in-place order has been lifted.
Investigation with regard to the individual who has been detained is very much ongoing and in the middle of it right now.
Eva Erickson, a doctoral candidate who was the runner-up earlier this year on the CBS reality show Survivor, said she left her lab in the engineering building 15 minutes before the shots rang out. Australian authorities say 12 people were killed in the Bondi Beach shooting, and one of the 2 gunmen was also killed. The other was wounded and is now in custody. Authorities say the shooting targeted the Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah during a beach festival celebrating the start of the holiday. At a news conference, New South Wales Premier Chris Minns says hearts are bleeding for the Jewish community.
It's the responsibility of all Australians to wrap their arms around Australia's Jewish community and help them get through this incredibly difficult period.
Police said 29 people were wounded, including 2 officers. A Pittsburgh bar and restaurant is asking for the financial help from the community. Con Alma, a jazz bar and restaurant located downtown, launched a GoFundMe with the goal of raising $150,000. In a description, they said, "We're turning to you, our community, for help. The funds they raise will go directly towards settling debts, securing payroll, and covering expenses that keep the restaurant running." The GoFundMe has raised more than $21,000 so far. KDKA Sports, college football crowning their most outstanding player of the year. Sports reporter Erica Herskowitz has that story.
This year's best of the best, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who was awarded the 2025 Heisman Trophy at a ceremony held in New York City Saturday night.
Mendoza takes the snap, wants to throw it, fires it down the field. It's for Elijah Serrani, makes the catch. Touchdown!
Hoosiers Radio with the call. Mendoza, the first Heisman Trophy winner in school history, recently guided the Hoosiers to their first outright Big Ten crown since 1945. He leads the FBS with 33 passing touchdowns, producing 39 total scores and completing 71.5% of his passes for 2,980 yards. Erica Herskowitz for CBS News, New York.
It's 16 degrees. It's 8:03. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Get year-end rebates on quality Graber blinds from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Save $75 on 3 solar, roller, cellular, or natural Graber shades. Plus, save an extra $25 on each additional shade. Lachina, Pittsburgh's custom window treatment leader, is pleased to offer these Graber shades rebates. Act quickly as this offer is for a limited time. Call Lachina at 412-665-4900 for free shop-at-home service. Visit their 2 showrooms in Dormont and Wexford and at lachinadrapery.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Or is it? For many, the holidays are a time of stress, irritability, anxiousness, and just waiting for them to be over. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. I have a brand new supplement called Zenziety that you spray into your mouth when those times come. And it really takes the edge off and brings you to a state of calm. Zenziety. You can order online, dbcweightloss.com, or call 1-800-900-THIN.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a frigid second half of the weekend with snow and flurries continuing at times into the evening with little or no additional accumulation expected, high 17, then cloudy and cold the rest of tonight, low 13, followed by a very cold day tomorrow with some flurries and a high of 21, then less cold for Tuesday with clouds and sun, high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
All right, Frank is here, and we're talking party recipes today, getting you ready, those potluck recipes as well for the holiday season. Here is the phone number to be on the program, 866-391-1020. Some lucky listener is going to get a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. We'll draw that person's name at the end of the hour, but you have to call in with a recipe. And I see our good friend, the UPS driver, Chuck, has sent me an email, and he did pulled pork. So let's talk about pulled pork as a perfect party favorite to begin the broadcast. Frank.
Well, yeah, if you buy a pulled pork, you buy a pork shoulder roast, a bone in, or you can buy the whole pork shoulder, which is not much bigger. You're around 8-9 pounds at the most. And be able to put that right into a crock pot. You know, a crock pot will make it perfect. I know Chucky's going to put on the grill, which I agree with. I have a smoker at home, a pellet smoker, and that's what I would do. That's what I do. I put on the pellet smoker, and you're at about 6-7 hours. I mean, it's a procedure. You know, you cover it, and let it smoke open for the first big part of it. You know, and then once it hits 160, 165, I think is when I'm letting it hit, and then I cover it. And that's after it's got that nice crust on it. And then let it go till it hits about 195 degrees. I know that sounds like, oh my goodness, he overcooked it, but it's not. It's a slow roast. You know, I'm putting that on a smoke at about 250. I would do it right now because it's going to drop in temperature just because of the cold weather, and you might even 275 just to get it. So because you're going to have that temperature drop from that being outside, but just. You know, once it hits that 195 seems to be the magic number. And you can go higher, too. But it's like that magic number that lets that bone just pull out. But the reason why it doesn't taste like it's overdone or anything like that is you're doing that slow roast. The juices are staying a lot inside the meat. That last bit after it's hitting that 165, I'm covering it. And that's keeping the moisture in there as well, the same as what a crock pot would do at inside. The nice part of doing it outside, you get a nice crispy bark on the outside, which is delicious. And then also, it just gets that smokiness flavor to it, depending how much smoke you allow to stay or just how much is staying in there at one time. And all your neighbors and dogs and all that will be smelling it cooking, and that's just fine. They can come over and visit and have some pork when it's done. I've done different ones where you do a barbecue rub on the outside or your favorite seasoning on the outside of it before you put it into the smoker or crock pot. Crock pot, I've done it with... instead of putting a little bit of water in the bottom, I've put Dr. Pepper in the bottom. Usually on my butts too. And, a lot of people inject them with apple juice. I inject it with hard apple cider, and it gives it a little bit of different flavor. Apple itself lends itself to breaking it down a little bit, making it more tender, but it gives a sweetness to it. Pork, it gets that savory, but the sweet really pairs well with it. So that's why you see a lot of the barbecue seasonings will be a sweeter flavor to it, which I'll use a maple based one, a honey maple based. Then our coon spices, we sell it, and I'll season the outside of it with that, and now you have the injector. It's basically a bigger needle, and just injecting that with the hard apple cider. I do about half a bottle. The other half a bottle, don't worry, it doesn't go to waste. I make sure that's what I drink while I'm preparing it, and it's just a great recipe for right now. And you feed a lot of people with that, and it's for a great price, and you really can't beat it for what you pay to make that. And you just add, you can take the stock after you take it out of like when it's in the smoker, it's still sitting in a pan, and you can take that and make a gravy, or after you pull the pork, dump that, strain it, make sure there's no little bones in there at all, and the chunks of fat, you can toss those, but put it back, that gravy back on it, and mix it up, and that gives some moisture back in it, and you can have it like that, or make a gravy to go along with it and put on top, or you just add your own barbecue sauce, your favorite. I like a Sweet Baby Ray's, the original, but your favorite sauce, or if you're having people over, do it with those nice juices inside there, and leave it that way, and put like 3 or 4 different choices of sauces, and people can put their own sauce on it or no sauce at all. It's always good with potatoes, or onion rings seem to pair out very well with that, and a nice slaw, whether you have it creamy. I like more of that vinaigrette base to it, which I'll make a nice one with the apple cider vinegar, and mix that up with a little bit for my slaw, and give it that nice apple cider vinegar, sugar. Works out really good. You can add a little bit of mayonnaise too if you want, and mix that up. And again, it's a great side. And for now, and what's going to serve best, you need to get a crusty roll. That's the biggest thing, because it is a very wet sandwich when you're done. And so the nice crusty Kaiser rolls work out perfect, or a nice hard roll. It's great.
It is great, and you also have some French bread right now for a loaf for only $3.50 at Coons Market. Chuck also added nachos to those pulled porks, which is kind of different.
Yeah, you can put that on top of nachos. Yeah, if you make some nice nachos, melt that, you can make your own cheese sauce, or you can buy cheese. We sell nacho cheese sauce inside our delis, and you can use that, and a little bit of pulled pork on top. Even sprinkle some of whatever rub you use, you can sprinkle some of that over it, and whatever else you want, whether you like to have some sour cream along with that, or black olives, or different whatever your preference is to put on top of it.
All right, and don't forget some great savings right now. A Sugardale semi-boneless whole ham, 14 to 16 pound average, $1.69 with the Coons Reward Card. And my favorite, California Sunkissed Navel Orange is 6 for $2 with that Coons Reward Card. So get there and enjoy. Let's go to Mary Lee in Beaver first up on the Coons Cooking Hour. Hi, Mary Lee.
Hi, good morning. Merry Christmas. I have a recipe. It's called roast beef appetizer. What I do, I buy 1 pound of thinly sliced roast beef, the lunch meat. I cut it in about 2-inch wide pieces. I top it with cream cheese. I use about an 8-ounce package of cream cheese for this recipe. And I top it with a small amount of horseradish. I roll it up like a jelly roll, and I place it on a serving tray, and I garnish it with parsley and cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, that's great, and that's a great recipe right there.
Cherry tomatoes.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah, nice, refreshing, but easy. Nice, roll it up and easy to enjoy and eat.
I appreciate it, Mary Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Have
much.
a good day.
Yeah, Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right, keep those calls coming in, 866-391-1020. So my question is, how do you plan portions when you don't know how many people are coming to the party?
Well, you're always going to have extra. If you think there's too much, you take people, bring some extra containers. Have some extra containers on hand, whether it's foil pans, or or the Tupperware container, not Tupperware, but the disposable plastic containers, which are a great gift for somebody anyway, or if you save your containers. I know we save a bunch of containers at home just from, whether you're having cottage cheese or ricotta, any different salads that you've gotten from the deli, save the container so that whenever you have these kind of get-togethers and pack up the leftovers. I always figure, like on pulled pork is one, I'm going to say it's probably about a quarter pound per person for a sandwich. It's a little heavy, believe it or not, but you can figure on that and figure how many pounds and kind of figure it out from there, whether you need a roast or if you need a whole pork shoulder butt. But use that planning, and if you're really not sure, if you're ordering some other things from the delis, or you just want to ask somebody from the delis or the meat departments, their opinion is, hey, I'm feeding this many people, what kind, how much do you think I should get? We're going to get a lot of those questions on ham, where people plan to have extra anyway, so that people have, you can make sandwiches and all the different recipes later as well, but if you have people going home, or maybe they're older and they don't get a chance to cook very much or anything like that, it's nice to give them leftovers so the next day they don't have to worry about cooking, and they can have a nice meal afterwards as well.
You want to join us? We got lines available. Today, our topic on the Coons Cooking Hour, it is all about your party recipes and best potluck recipes. So, finger food, snacks, appetizers, all of the above, desserts, give us a call with a recipe, and your name can be drawn at the end of the hour, in which you will take home a $25 gift certificate. And remember, for everything you need for the family fun of the holiday season, obviously Hanukkah begins today. Feel free to stop in at Coons Market. We have what you need. And don't forget, in those incredible cafes, Banksville Road, McKnight Road, over 600 varieties of your favorite beers, microbrews, craft beers, and more, and a great wine selection, too. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh and holiday tradition.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Did you know you can spend your PA taxes to fund a scholarship for a child in need and get a 90% tax credit refund? Through Blocks, that's BLOCS, you can direct your state tax liability, fund a scholarship, direct it to the tuition-based school of your choice, and receive a 90% refund on the donated amount. It's a simple process, and you can fund a scholarship that will change a child's life. Tax credit slots are filling up fast, and you must make your commitment by December 23rd. Head to BLOCS.org now.
You want to be the big hero this holiday season? Give a gift they'll never forget. Instead of just more stuff, give them an incredible experience. Imagine their faces when they learn they're spending a week lounging in a private lazy river in the Outer Banks, splashing in the indoor pool of a massive Deep Creek lake home, or waking up to the waves from an oceanfront condo in Myrtle Beach. The best gifts are memories. Visit SWACvacations.com today to book your dream summer 2026 getaway. SWAC, SWACK vacations.com.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra. Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we are literally plowing through a Sunday together. We'll have the latest on the weather coming up at the bottom of the hour. But right now, let's talk to a guy who's driven in every kind of weather for that great brand that's UPS. He's Chuck, and he did a little pulled pork with some nachos. Chuck, beautiful picture. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank. I'm doing good.
Good morning.
Well, kind of. My wife says, you're crazy. I'm going to bed. I'm out there at midnight making nachos on the grill.
There you go. Well, that is the thing about making that. Yeah, when you're getting, pulled pork and you're doing nachos for that, I mean, it could be a while. If you don't plan out when you put it in there, you could be out there. There's times I was out there midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, waiting for something to finish.
That's what I was doing, sipping on some bourbon, waiting for the pork to cook.
There you go.
It's a tough job.
Yeah, that's a hard work. Sitting in the snow.
Yeah, but I would say if you're going to make this for a party, I'd make it the day before, because unless you want to get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to make it, make the pork, and then the next day just make the nachos. Because I really think the pork's better when it sits overnight in all the juices.
It picks up.
You shred it up, leave it. Go ahead.
No, yeah, it picks up. It keeps some of that flavor. It actually, because it sat there and in those spices and all that, it actually did. It's not your imagination. It picked up a little more flavor through the meat. And even for a party, you put that right into a crock pot, turn it on warm. By the time you get to, by the time everyone's ready to eat or anything like that, it's all heated back up anyway.
Yeah, so that's basically what I did. I rubbed my pork down, and I cooked it for about 7.5, 8 hours, 225. Then I pulled it off. I had it covered, and I let it sit for another hour because it's still cooking, while the inside's still cooking off. Mm-hmm. And then I just shredded it with a fork. I didn't have to do anything to it. It just fell apart. And then I left the grill on. I took a tray, and I put nachos on it and let them bake for about 15 minutes. Then I put on the pulled pork and some shredded Mexican cheese and let it cook for about another 15 minutes. And, I should have made 2 trays.
Well, I know you got some left. You got some for today.
Oh, yeah. It was over 6 pounds, so I got plenty of pork. So I'll shred some more today and make some more.
Is that porch, other than the roof, enclosed somewhat, or were you out in the elements the entire time?
I have a little awning, but no, I'm outside. I'm used to being outside.
That's what the bourbon's for.
So I got a text message at like 2 a.m. from Dr. Kevin Wong. He said, the roads are this or that. And this was my response. I went, Doc, 40 years I've been fighting these battles, and today's just another battle. And listen, I thought of you, too. How many days have you driven in snow like this, huh?
More than I care.
I know. Not that I get a little concerned, but this is just like another day at the office. I've been doing this for so long. And 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, midnight. And I don't know, but I'm so grateful for these PennDOT drivers. Without them, then we'd be in some real trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have to give a shout out to Shaler, because they keep our roads black up here. They was out here all afternoon and evening. I heard them out here again this morning salting. Them guys are working their tails off. Who knows, 12, 14-hour shifts. Them guys, you're driving in the dark, in the snow, up and down hills, navigating in between cars. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility.
It is. It's a lot of work. Well, enjoy your pulled pork and enjoy your day off.
I am. I feel awake now, Rob. I'm back amongst the living. I felt like a zombie. Now I'm good. I'm ready to go for another week.
There you go. I love it. All right.
Rejuvenated.
Chuck, we appreciate you. Thanks. And all the parking lots at Coons are ready to rock, too. Clean. And if you need some stuff to pick up today when the sun starts to bake some of this stuff off, feel free. We are open for business. And now's the time, too, to get all your orders in for your holiday stuff, too, Frank.
Yeah, start your planning, whether you're having an office party or just a little party or get together with family at home pre-Christmas, because people come in or available different times. So, sometimes you have parties before Christmas. Sometimes you do parties after Christmas, because of everyone's schedules. But, we're always there to help. We have a whole selection of different salads that we have all the time in our cases, and that you can order, quantities so you're not waiting in line. Or you can, go ahead on to coonsmarket.com. We have a party tray catering link on there. You can click the link. You'll see all of our different variety of items that are there. When you talk to us, we can help you through any of your problems with how much do you need, or what do you suggest to pair with something else that you might be making, different things like that. So we can really help you out. We can do your whole everything you need, or we can supplement what you're making. So whatever your thing is, give the store a call, and you can check out that catering menu right there on coonsmarket.com.
All right, party recipes, potluck recipes, topic of conversation today. And what do you consider potluck? When I say potluck to you, what is potluck in your mind? 866-391-1020, or maybe one of your potluck favorites. Here's Peter in Crafton on the Coons Cooking Hour. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, gentlemen. Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
early. One of the parties that's coming up is the Seven Fishes. I have a fish recipe for that. It is a pan-fried flounder. First, you set up a breading station with flour, a little bit of salt and pepper, an egg wash with the egg and a little bit of water or milk, and another container of flour. Now, in this flour, you add salt, pepper, sesame seeds. You can use white and black or all white sesame seeds, and a few pinches of cayenne pepper. Set your pan on the stove, put a little butter, I say about a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of oil, and get that going, then get that melted. Bread your fish, and put, when you put it up in the egg wash, and put it back into the flour with the sesame seeds, pat it real good, and then pan fry it on both sides till it's golden brown, and it should be done. It's a wonderful dish. It was invented by a chef I worked with by accident. We always called it a fish on a dish when the waitresses would order it. You can use cod. You can slice it thin, about the size of thickness of the flounder, and it comes out real good too. Get a cod loin and cut it lengthwise. But the flounder is always good, and I do it every year. It's just so delicious. The sesame seeds make a wonderful flavor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, flounder is a nice pan fish as well. It's usually a thinner fillet, so it cooks really fast when you're frying it. That sounds like that's similar to what I do with it, just a flour based. I've been playing around with some self-rising flour too for a lot of these kind of dishes, breading them. It just there's already some baking soda and baking powder inside that flour. It ends up making it almost a little bit lighter tasting. We don't do it in the store. I'm doing it at home. And I fried some zucchini like that, and it poofed up the batter a little bit. And I had seen a recipe where they recommended doing that for frying breaded chicken, and I tried the chicken. It was good. And then doing on the vegetables, and I would try it on that flounder as well. Just kind of makes it even a little bit lighter, a different taste to it. It was pretty good.
Very good. All right, now some potluck recipes. When I say potluck, what comes to mind?
I always think of it as people bringing, we're going to have a potluck party where everyone's going to bring their own dish. I like bringing them because everyone gets to show off their special recipe. They get to try something different. It makes it easier and a little more fair, quite honestly, on the person hosting the party because, it's a real pain and you're going to have to clean up at the end where no one else, when you're done eating, everyone's like, okay, see you later, and you got a lot of dishes left over. So if you're not making all the dishes, you're making your dish, everyone's bringing their different dishes, and it gives another talking point, of course, when you're there too, and how'd you make this, how'd you do that, and some recipe swapping at the same time. But I always look at it as people bringing their favorite dish along with it. A lot of people do it for picnics as well. If you're going out to the beach or just heading over to the, one of the nice parks we have here around Pittsburgh, for the summer. The same thing in the winter when you're bringing over these Christmas parties and Thanksgiving parties, all these holiday parties. That's a good time that a lot of people do that.
When I think of potluck, I do think about a lot of leftovers that people will kind of turn into some ingredients and actually bake it off and make it work. And casseroles come to mind, but I saw one very unique where it's spaghetti and shredded chicken in a casserole dish with mozzarella or provolone, whatever type of cheese, cheddar cheese you may want to spread over top of it. But that sounds kind of interesting, and you kind of cut it out like with a spatula, kind of like lasagna.
Yeah, and that sounds like one that you could take. That's kind of like a chicken parmesan at that, and that. But if you might be using a breaded chicken, where you buy some of our chicken tenders, it's kind of like a hidden gem at the Coon stores and our hot delis. is chicken tenders. Cut those up, mix it in with pasta, and bake it off, kind of like a casserole chicken parm.
All right, 866-391-1020. We're talking those potluck recipes, party recipes. Get on the line, share a recipe, and you may get a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market.
Holiday shopping is in full swing. Don't forget the most important thing on your list, individual and family coverage from UPMC Health Plan. Open enrollment runs through January 15th, so put a plan in your cart before it's too late. Their convenient plans give you access to an extended network and great coverage. UPMC First Care offers a $0 copay for a variety of visits. They'll even give you access to a healthcare concierge who's like a personal shopper. To get started, visit upmchealthplan.com/marketplace.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 14 degrees at 8:30. I'm David Bollerado. A person of interest in the Brown University shooting is in custody. Providence Police Colonel Oscar Perez.
We have detained someone of interest, but I respect and to protect the integrity of the investigation, I would only be limited in my details.
2 people were killed and 9 others injured. The mayor there, Brett Smiley, says people can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Individuals will see an enhanced police presence, not because there is particular cause for concern or evidence being gathered in another corner or another, but we know that it is a Sunday in the holiday season, and we want folks to feel safer.
Adding,
the people of Providence can breathe a little easier this morning. That is also why we feel confident and comfortable to lift the shelter in place for the city.
PennDOT has lifted the lowered speed limits on local roadways that had been implemented at a reduced limit of 45 miles per hour. All interstates as well as Route 28 were affected. The agency says it is still treating roads and will continue to do so until they're clear. Restrictions on certain commercial vehicles have also been lifted. The snow has ended for now, leaving as much to 3 to 5 inches in some areas. We are seeing a little bit of snow activity right now in the Pittsburgh area, and additional snow could come later on today. The high temperature is not expected to even reach 20 degrees today. We'll check the AccuWeather forecast in a moment, but meantime, EV True Value Home Improvement Hour host Andy Amrine says your best bet for treating your sidewalks is not rock salt.
My favorite all-around product is your magnesium-based products because it's safe for the environment, safe for everything, and it does work below zero.
A suspect is in custody after he was shot by police following a car chase yesterday. State police say it began after an Infiniti had been stolen from Crafton around 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. Police say when they began to pursue the vehicle, the driver fled, finally abandoning the vehicle on Crane Avenue near Sawmill Run Boulevard. The suspect ran, and an officer fired, striking the suspect, who was then taken to a local hospital for treatment before being released to state police. The incident remains under investigation. A shooting killing 12 people took place in Bondi Beach, Australia during a beach festival celebration for the first day of Hanukkah. Authorities say the shooting targeted the Jewish community. Rabbi Levi Wolf from the Central Synagogue in Bondi Junction.
To have to think that here in Sydney, Australia, I have to have security full-time at my synagogue. My children have to go to school where they're told not to wear their uniforms outside so that people shouldn't identify them as Jews, that they have to have security at their school. And now, when we come to celebrate a Jewish holiday, 12 of our best are gunned down.
A house fire last night in Tarentum. Social media video showing crews battling a smoky fire along the 900 block of Corbett Street. No word yet on the cause or if anyone was injured. KDKA Sports. Duke Brennan scored 24 points and was a perfect 8-for-8 shooting. Bryce Lindsay scored 24 points of his own, and Villanova cruised to a 79-61 win over Pitt on Saturday. John Klingberg capped off a frantic late rally by scoring his second goal of the game, 2:57 into overtime, to lift the San Jose Sharks to a 6-5 victory over the Penguins. And Fernando Mendoza, the enthusiastic quarterback of number 1 Indiana, won the Heisman Trophy Saturday night, becoming the first Hoosier to win college football's most prestigious award since its inception back in 1935. He beat Ohio State quarterback Julian Sand, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, and Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. KDK Radio News Time 8:33. It's 14 degrees and cloudy. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Debbie from Venus. Debbie's neuropathy was stealing her mobility to the point she started looking for a wheelchair. Then Debbie found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program changed her life. Her neuropathy symptoms are all gone, and she can walk her dogs and exercise again. Listen to more of her story at marydancedin.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Debbie, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Folds of Honor has been meeting sacrifice with hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making the recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a bitterly cold day with a gusty wind and intermittent snow and flurries lasting into the evening. Not expected to accumulate all that much with a high of 17. Then it stays cloudy and colder tonight with a low of 13. Tomorrow brings clouds and a few flurries with a high of just 21. Then clouds and sun on Tuesday, high high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
A little open talk next hour, then Accurate Solutions, and big day today on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show, including Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette talking Steelers Miami, and also the Pitt women win 3-1 against number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four in college volleyball, which is a really cool story. So all of that college football playoff preview and some hot stove talk, as in your Pittsburgh Pirates, coming up today on KDK and the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. All right, we're talking party recipes, potluck recipes. We've got a wide open phone bank, so first come, first serve. And if you have a party recipe or a potluck recipe you want to share with us, you may be taking home a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. Now, here's a party recipe that you have to have. It's one of my all-time favorites, but I actually do not know what goes into a deviled egg. So you've talked about it before, but I spaced it. So let's talk about it now. What actually goes into a deviled egg?
Well, you take your hard-boiled eggs and you cut them in half, pop out the yolks. And with those yolks, you're going to add mayonnaise and mustard, a little bit of paprika. You can add some garlic salt and obviously salt and pepper. If you're doing garlic salt, just don't put the regular salt in. It's some pepper. Paprika, I put a little bit in, but I also dust it on top. And that's it. If you're looking for something, the big kick anymore is avocados. And I tried this before, mixing avocado in with the egg instead of the mustard. So I did mayonnaise, egg, and then avocado. And so it was like green eggs. So you can make your green eggs and ham, I guess, if you want to call it green eggs and ham. It literally is green eggs and ham. It was delicious. It really was. It was really good, and it gives you a little bit more of those healthy fats as well. I guess you can get kind of a Christmas look to it if you take that avocado, mix that in, make some other deviled eggs, a little bit of beet juice, and you'd have red and green eggs.
Good
Be
to
kind
go.
of interesting, or you may experiment with put the yellow too. Now you got Christmas lights.
I like it. I like it.
The problem is they only last about 5 minutes. It's not they don't go bad in 5 minutes.
They're
It's that
gone.
people eat them in 5 minutes.
And that's paprika on top, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you dust the top real light.
All right, how about cheesy potato casserole?
That's your sliced potatoes, where you're roasting the potatoes and then mixing your cheddar in there. And I like to put bacon in it as well. A little bit of I'm trying to think of what I haven't made them myself in a long time. I usually just buy them because they're a pain in my book. They're kind of a pain to cut. And but if you have one of those mandolins where you can slice it real quick, real thin, it makes it a little bit easier. But putting that cheese in there, I can't remember if I put a little bit of sour cream in it or not. Honestly, it might be a little bit of cream cheese instead, but give that creaminess to it. And that's a good recipe too if you have leftover ham after Christmas, or even if a side dish for Christmas. Dicing up some ham that you have and putting that inside there pairs very well with as well. It's a nice side for just about anything.
Let's talk taco, as in taco dip. We'll talk some dips now. Why are those such a fan favorite?
Well, taco dip is it's all layered usually. You're just putting what you would put in a normal taco, You're putting down your ground meat and you're putting your cheese, then you got your lettuce and tomato, and I like black olives on mine, some sour cream, and drizzle the top with some taco sauce. But you can add refried beans in there as well. You can put guacamole as one of the layers. If you put it into a clear round dish or even a square dish, where people can see the different layers, it looks really neat. And they can see those different layers, and you can eat it hot or cold. I mean, I like to warm it up. But you can always, if I'm warming it up, I'm not putting the lettuce and tomato on until I serve it, because the lettuce would just wilt on you. I usually use iceberg and shred it on the grater, and it would just wilt. So you don't want to do that. And warm tomatoes, same thing. I like them a little bit chilly, so they'll go on last. But again, it works great for the holidays. It works great for just any kind of game as well, and it's got this nice colorful look to it. You can even layer the taco sauce in there so you get those different colors if you're putting it inside a dish. It's just a great. I love a taco. That's one of my favorites. I used to love them. I go there, my mom would have taco dip. I loved it.
You know, sugar at times does get a bad name, and I think unfairly, because where would we be without sugar, but especially sugar cookies, which is a great treat this time of year. But sugar is such a key ingredient to so many things. It's all about how much you add, but we need sugar.
Well, you have to balance out. So if you have a savory dish, you're going to need some kind of sweet to go back into it to kind of bring down that acid level, especially when you have tomato-based dishes and all that. You know, even our tomato sauce, most people are going to do the same thing. They get pasta sauce, they're going to put a little bit of sugar in it. And that's just enough to get the tartness off. If not, it's just too tart. The acid level is too high. That sugar kind of balances that out, you know, so you get that sweet and savory, which is more palatable than just, you know, that hardcore, you know, savory dish or that vinegar, you know, almost like a vinegary taste, but that acidic taste, which will bother your stomach, the sugar will kind of balance it out. If you have a real problem with sugar, you can use the sweeteners, but you can also use honey and as a good replacement. There's all the other ones out there. There's a monk fruit, there's an agave, but I would stick more natural to the honey, the tab off, and read your label on the honey. Some of the honeys out there actually are corn syrup with a little bit of honey. You don't want that. You don't need corn syrup. You want to get a good honey. We sell, you know, a lot of stores have a natural honey that's over in the produce, but also on the grocery shelf as well. And honey has a great shelf life. It's almost forever. I mean, it's just a great shelf life. I just don't put it in the fridge because you'll never get the honey out of that jar again. I learned the hard way when I was young. You'll never get it out, and then it'll start crystallizing on you.
All right, 866-391-1020. Short break. We'll come back on the other side. John in Washington's waiting in the wings. We'd love to hear from you. If you want a chance at that $25 gift certificate, you got to call now. 866-391-1020. It's the Coons Cooking Hour. And a week from today, we'll be days away from the holiday that is Christmas, and we'll be talking all about Christmas recipes. And don't forget, Christmas Eve, that 3-decade-plus tradition continues, beginning at 5:30 in the morning until 1. It is the Feast of the Seven Fishes Show, live and direct from the Coons Market on McKnight Road, and you are all invited.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, Bills Happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to BillsHappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to BillsHappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. BillsHappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com for the cash you need now. BillsHappen.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we're talking party recipes, potluck recipes. Come on, folks, get on the line because you're going to have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate, and we're down to our final few minutes of the broadcast. So if you get in here, you'll have a chance to take home that gift card. Here's John in Washington. Hey, John.
Good morning. Good morning. I have an appetizer recipe in Spain. It's called tapas, T-A-P-A-S. And this It's quite easy. A couple tablespoons of olive oil, about a pound and a half of beef sirloin cut into 1-inch cubes. Brown those up. Then you add the parsley and the garlic. Stir that around a bit. And you add 1 cup of dry sherry. And heat that up. Make sure everything is mixed properly. Put it on plates with toothpicks and pass it around. It's a very, very flavorful recipe, believe me.
No, it sounds great. I'll have to try that. I've never had tapas. That's something that, I'm always looking for something a little bit different or some unique recipe. That's what I'm going to have to try.
All right, John.
Well, you can do it with mushrooms or anything you want. But it works out very good. The sherry adds a little extra kick. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, but the great thing about when you go to these parties and ask you to bring a dish, it's nice because people start to actually swap recipes too.
You do. They'll talk about it. Usually when you're going to a party, you're there to not so much impress, but show something that's special to you, a recipe that's, special to either your family or something special that you make. I know we do a potluck at our office. We're doing that on Monday, and we're always bringing something, and past couple of years I've been bringing meatballs because I brought them the first time, and now I'm not allowed to bring anything else. I want the meatballs. There's a sense of pride in something like that, and you get a chance to show off what you can do, and different recipes, and you'll see different things that other people do, and you end up talking about it. It's a good starting point for conversation if you have a lot of people that don't really know each other. It's a good starting point. That's one good thing about food is people. It's a good place to have a good conversation and just a relaxing. Everyone loves food, and just a relaxing atmosphere, and to be able to discuss that, and it gets you onto other topics and all that. But it's a good starting point with having those potluck meals.
Yeah, here's the other thing too, Frankie. You don't overeat as much because you take little portions because you want to try to have more. So you're not like taking large portions or 2 portions of one entree. You have a little bit to sample from, like a spoonful here and there.
Yeah, you don't do it. You do it chili cook-offs and try to eat a full spoonful of 20 different types of chili. You go ahead and you take a little bit, of what you want. But it's a good time. You get a lot of different types. And always make sure you leave room for the desserts, because when you have potluck and someone's bringing desserts, that's going to be a good dessert.
Absolutely. Speaking of desserts, a lot of colorful desserts this time of year, especially for the holidays, cakes and pies and cookies. Cookies and that cookie walk that we had was an absolute tremendous success.
It was. It really was. It was nice to have some, there was a lot of new faces that came this year too. So obviously word spreads every year we go, but it was amazing to see how many, and, there's actually some requests for some different cookies. I'm still trying to hunt down some, trying to catch back up because, on different flavors, and I'm working on a ginger molasses right now to get them here to be able to have them available for the rest of the Christmas season. So we're working on that. But and it was just all those different flavors. But again, you talk to these people and they tell you, these customers, you're in front of the customer, your bakery people are in front of the customer, and you start, they start to discuss, where are you taking this? And they start telling you about their parties and this and that. And then you end up being, a little bit of a swap of different ideas and how they're going to be using them or what you're doing and this and that, or how to store them. Because a lot of people will, that's why we do it early, is because, a lot of people want them early. It's not a last minute thing. Well, they're going to put them in the freezer. They're ready for Christmas because they got other things going on, or different parties, and you get Hanukkah now. So, different parties that are going on, and they want to make sure they have them not in the way of other things they have to do. It's a busy time of year. Even if you're online shopping, it's still a busy time. You got to sit down and do that shopping, and have, when you have a party, you don't want it to be thrown to the side like it's not that important. You want to, not last minute, you want to have things. So the cookies out of the way, you can just bring those cookies out. Now you can concentrate on everything else.
I absolutely love it. Okay, let's just kind of run down, being we have a couple of minutes, last minute ideas in the way of gifts. Cookie trays, great gift. A gift card is a great gift. Obviously something from the cafe, great gift, bottle of wine, all sorts of things. When you're grocery shopping today or heading into the holidays, Coos Market has some great ideas for gift giving too.
And even if you know somebody that's a little bit of down on luck a little bit, and they need a little bit of assistance or help, you can pick up a quarter ham, a boneless quarter ham, and a side or something like that for them, or order something that's you can bring out to them on Christmas Eve. We have a lot of people that order fried chicken. I never knew until I started working at delis how much fried chicken we went through on Christmas Eve. That's our second busiest day for fried chicken.
What's the busiest? 4th of July?
4th of July.
Okay.
But for Christmas, I've missed many a mass with my family because I couldn't go until Christmas Day because I was out frying chicken in the stores because that's important. I don't want to mess with anybody else's holidays. I can always move church the next day, but I have to make sure they have their stuff for family coming in, and those kind of things. That's all that last minute stuff could be a gift, or you're bringing something to someone's house because you're coming over a day early. You're putting them out. In your mind, you're putting them out. They want you there. But in your mind, you feel guilty, so you bring some food. Say, hey, I'll provide some fried chicken. You don't have to cook or anything like that. Pizza, obviously, something like that. Little snack dips, those kind of things. Gifts. Gift cards work out great, but we have little gifts all the way throughout. Our little floral departments, we have little gifts that you can buy, little things like gift packs and stuff like that as well.
All right, we're going to come back, draw this week's winner. Next week, we'll be talking that Christmas dinner, all of those favorite treats. And again, December 24th, 5:30 in the morning till 1, the annual broadcast that is the Feast of the Seven Fishes. You're all invited to stop by for some great food and family fun. And, of course, it's going to be happening at Coons Market on McKnight Road. Back with more in a moment.
It's a tradition that's over 70 years strong. KDKA and the Free Care Fund of Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, UPMC. Help us Thursday at 2 during the Colin Dunlap Show by ensuring that no child is ever denied medical care because of ability to pay. It's brought to you by Tempstar Heating and Cooling, Papa J's in the Strip, Boulevard Glass and Metal, Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, and by 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Tune in to KDKA at midnight on Christmas Eve for a special Christmas Mass from Queen of the Rosary Church Saints Joachim and Parish. Christmas has special meetings, and this annual Christmas Mass broadcast is proudly presented by Rome Monument, a company that knows about special meanings. As the Tri-State's largest memorial company founded by Michael Diagardi, Rome Monument is a fourth-generation family-owned business. Their special Christmas gift is providing a Christmas Eve Mass broadcast on KDKA. Merry Christmas from the Diagardi family.
Hey, folks, 'tis the season to get your home quite clean before Christmas. Save big. Call Coit right now. Save 50% off all your first Coit cleaning service. Save 40% off all other services. That's right. Ask Santa to put Coit on your Christmas list. Save 50% off either carpets, rugs, upholstery, drapes, and blinds, and more. Call Coit. 1-800-FOR-COIT. 1-800-FOR-COIT. Also, give the gift of a clean home with Coit gift cards. 1-800-FOR-COIT.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Ring in the holiday season with Pittsburgh CLO's A Musical Christmas Carol. Experience dazzling special effects and joyous music that will make your spirits soar. This timeless Charles Dickens tale follows Scrooge, Bob Cratchit, and Tiny Tim on a journey of redemption and the magic of the holiday season. Starring Charity Award winner Dennis O'Hare as Scrooge. December 13th through the 23rd at the Byam Theater. Get your tickets today at pittsburghclo.org.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once.
That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we got an extra rope and talk. We'll get to that in a moment. But before we do, let's draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate.
This week's winner is Pete in Crafton.
All right, listen, we miss your dad every day. We think of your mom as well. I was talking to your sister, our CEO, Jody, the other day. Just 7 fishes. Explain to the audience why it's so important to us and why we'd love to see everybody stop by.
Well, it's tradition. It's about the different 7 fishes and, being able to bring what it really is bringing family together and enjoying a nice family meal that's based off of just something that's been passed down through the families, And we still do it to this day. My sister Jody, she hosts usually, and we'll be doing that. In fact, I just got I got a text earlier this week from one of my daughters. They say, "Are they having the 7 fishes?" Because she wants to bring her boyfriend down so he can experience the 7 fishes, and then we can stare at him as he eats something weird, and not tell him what it is.
Exactly.
But again, he's of Russian descent, so he might have had a lot of these weird. So we don't know. We'll introduce him to smelts and squid and see what happens. Although calamari is usually more commonplace anymore.
That's pretty close.
But doing those smelts is something a little bit different. If my aunt makes anything, if she ends up making the stuffed calamari, that's something different. We used to do the sardine pasta. We don't do it anymore. So,
right.
But we'll find something to kind of freak them out a little bit. That's kind of the fun of it.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and David's going to check all the weather-related news, plus that horrible story here as we celebrate Hanukkah beginning today. Mass shooting, many people dead in Australia on a beach in Brown University. Suspect in custody, but just horrific. 2 people dead, multiple injuries in critical condition in a hospital. That, and of course, the weather. So it's been a very busy news cycle today, and Dave will get you caught up on all that. Then I'll get right back at it. And Barry Weiss had a very interesting town hall, CBS news editor with Erica Kirk on CBS last night. We're going to revisit that as well. So it's your Pratt Pack. It's a Sunday, and this is KDKA. It's 9 o'clock. David Bolorado next with the news.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 14 degrees at 9 o'clock. I'm David Bolorado. With sub-freezing temperatures lingering for a few days, EV True Value Home Improvement Hour host Andy Amrine says be careful with space heaters.
My favorite's the oil-filled heaters, but there's a lot of different heaters. The biggest thing is safety on heaters. You can never, ever plug a heater into an extension cord, or even worse would be a power strip. They got to be plugged into the outlet using those space heaters.
He says heat cables for your pipes can also help prevent them from freezing over, but he also says to make sure your furnace has a clean filter as well, and make sure your thermostat batteries are fresh too, since they only last about 6 months. PennDOT, by the way, has also lifted the lowered speed limits on local interstates and Route 28. Crews continue to treat those roadways. As the temperatures are dropping, the city is helping those who need it. News Radio KDKA's Margot Rensel explains.
City Parks is activating 5 healthy active living centers as warming centers today from noon to 6 p.m. Press Secretary Olga George told KDKA Radio what people can expect.
There will be snacks. People will be able to play games and socialize. And be very warm in the building.
The centers are located in Beachview, Greenfield, Homewood, Sheridan, and Southside. Margot Rensel, News Radio, KDKA.
Police in Rhode Island say they have a person of interest in custody after a shooting at Brown University killed 2 people and wounded 9 others. Colonel Oscar Perez, the chief of the Providence Police, confirmed at a news conference this morning that the detained person was in their 30s and that authorities are not currently searching for anyone else. But he declined to say where the person was arrested and whether that person was connected to the university. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley on the aftermath.
The individuals who are recovering at Rhode Island Hospital. There remain 7 individuals in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged. Those are the 9 individuals injured yesterday.
The incident happened Saturday afternoon in a classroom during finals. Surveillance video shows a person dressed in black calmly walking away. The shooting paralyzed the campus with students sheltering in place for hours. Cheng Hang Qian is an engineering student at Brown and was working in a lab just 1 block away.
I was in the middle of working and my friends told me that they received a notification of a shooting incident just 1 block away from us. So we decided to close all the doors and turn all the lights off and hide under the desks and wait for the next notification.
Australian authorities say 12 people were killed in the Bondi Beach shooting, and one of the 2 gunmen was also killed. The other was wounded and is currently in custody. KDKA Sports, the Skillers get to follow the other games in the league today before hosting the Dolphins tomorrow night at Acrisure Stadium. It's 9:03. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, supervisor and funeral director. To keep the cost down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and DeLisandroLTD.com.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development, serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at StAnthonyKids.org.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply. An app only.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a frigid second half of the weekend with snow and flurries continuing at times into the evening with little or no additional accumulation expected, high 17, then cloudy and cold the rest of tonight, low 13, followed by a very cold day tomorrow with some flurries and a high of 21, then less cold for Tuesday with clouds and sun, high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
And right now we still see some snow flurries falling. It's 14 degrees. KDK Radio News Time 9:06. Our next update's at 9:30. I'm David Ballarado on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Rob Frax on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
So you and I have been in radio pretty much our entire adult life. We've experienced every type of weather, and now with the capability and the internet and that Zoom technology and phone lines and apps on your phone, you can actually go remote, but we're a couple of old warriors, snow dogs, who find our way here at KDKA today. How many times do you think you've done this, David, where you've had to be at a radio station in weather like this? Dr. Wong texted me at 2 a.m. this morning, And I just simply replied by saying, just another battle, Doc. I'm used to it, and we're ready to roll. I mean, and as I'm driving in, it may have been the very first time in all my career that I wasn't really stressing about getting to work because I've seen it so many times. But where would we be without PennDOT? I mean, we'd be in a world of hurt.
Right. I mean, the roads for the most part were okay this morning when I was coming in. I mean, the one thing that irritated me on the way in is there was someone who was driving a Tesla who was too close to me, and this is at 4:40 in the morning. You know, you don't want anyone driving too closely behind you at 4:40 in the morning, but let alone when the road is hardly 100% clear and you could skid at any moment. People just need to keep that in mind. Keep a distance from the car in front of you. I mean, that's why we look at these, these social media posts and so on of seeing all these accidents all over the place. It's because people don't. It's like they forget how to drive sometimes.
I know. What I like to do is get behind a healthy distance, a tractor trailer, and kind of let them kind of lead the way. That's what I like to do. But I did do something today that I've never done before. I was right by the airport, and I was in a nice caravan of people.
Okay.
But they all of a sudden started to go really slow.
Okay.
And I'm like, so I hit my high beams like, why are we going so slow? And I went, Rob, stop that. I said, how dare you? I'm talking to myself in the rearview mirror. I said, how many times have you got on the radio and said some knucklehead was flashing his high beams because I wasn't going fast? So I rolled the window down and I went, I'm sorry, like that. But I don't know. Today for some reason, it just wasn't as overwhelming. I mean, I used to get up, Dave, honestly, every hour on the hour, look outside. And today I got up, I went out, cleaned my car off, got in my car. And here's the other thing. I've been doing this career long enough before we really even had front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. These automobiles now, no snow tires, but no like chains or studded tires, none of that stuff. It is a whole lot easier to drive today because of modern technology.
True, but people also have to keep in mind that four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, that gives you extra traction. But if you hit a patch of ice, that doesn't mean anything at all. So people just need to be aware of what that means and what it doesn't mean.
All right,
on roads like today.
You're the news guy. It's been a very crazy news day, has it not? Brown University. So get me caught up on that. They have a suspect in custody?
Well, they're calling him a person of interest in custody. I don't quite understand the parsing of words at this point, but that's the term that they're using.
Have they lifted the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the shelter-in-place order that was in effect for most of the night was lifted this morning. So students are finally able to get back out of where they were at the time that this happened, because this was, around 4 p.m., I believe, yesterday during finals season. Can you imagine being trapped in a classroom for that amount of period?
And here's what, no sooner did I was talking about Hanukkah beginning and wishing everybody a happy Hanukkah, than that horrific Hanukkah celebration shooting in Australia on that beach, and there's multiple people dead.
Right.
I mean, what's the latest on that? Do they have I guess there was more than one gunman?
Well, yeah, one of them is dead, and the other one is, let me just make sure I have the latest on front of that. The other is in custody.
Okay.
So this was happening at a beach celebration marking the first day of Hanukkah.
Horrible. Now, the other thing, and I didn't get a chance to see the entire thing, and I will watch it later today, but I am going to talk about it. Barry Weiss, who's the new chief editor at CBS, ties to Squirrel Hill. I started to watch some of her old stuff on Free Press. Excellent interviewer. I just found her really good, and I'm really excited to see the rest of this town hall she had with Erica Kirk. But this Erica Kirk story and Charlie Kirk story, I mean, it's bigger now, it seems like, than ever before. I mean, people just can't get enough of it. It's very intriguing in how she was able to secure for this town hall. So that's a big get for CBS.
Yeah, and I actually stumbled across that last night. I wasn't looking for it, but I just turned on the television and that was on, so I ended up watching the entire hour. And Barry Weiss said at the beginning, and I believe at the end as well, that they're planning on doing several of these in the future to help create and foster a dialogue in the country, because that seems to be the issue as they see it, that people just aren't talking to each other. And one of the things that Erica Kirk talked about repeatedly was social media and the phone and how much anger people have and share. It's almost maybe like people feel like they can do it without repercussions. They can say whatever they want online. I mean, to me, I think, I don't have my phone in here, thankfully, but to me, Just looking at some of the comments on various news articles when a news outlet posts something, and you see people's comments, and then people will react to the comment with a laughing face, laughing at what the person said.
Emoji or some sort.
Yeah, it's just so much lack of civility, lack of class, I think, in some cases.
Well, it's amazing. I saw her interview with Woody Allen.
Okay.
I was very impressed. Now, Woody Allen's had an amazing career, but he's also had some personal issues, and that's just life. But she handled that with such class, and she asked very conversational questions to where the average person would probably feel comfortable enough to ask Woody Allen. And the way she delivered these questions, he really opened up and talked about everything. And what I saw as far as some of the highlights, she seemed, and Erica Kirk's very well versed, but she seemed to be able to do that as well. So maybe CBS is onto something here, by hiring her to kind of, I don't know, just give an overall view, whether it's Democrat or Republican or just that human side of a story, and making it conversational enough to where if it is a town hall setting, that more people will plug into it, and that will create other people talking about it or more dialogue outside the interview process.
Right. Yeah, and hopefully the other ones won't necessarily be buried at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night as well.
Yeah. I know that's. But when you think about Charlie Kirk, I mean, his whole idea was to kind of get people engaged.
Right.
And a lot of people thought, that it had a little bit of that volatile aspect to it, and some may agree with that. And obviously, he died a horrific death, a very violent death. But maybe if we put that in a news situation, such as Barry Weiss is talking about doing in CBS, maybe the dialogue won't be as infuriated or inflamed as much, and that may actually stimulate people who really would never want to say anything, but now maybe get involved.
Right, because I think maybe a lot of times, a lot of the misunderstanding and the passion you see in social media posts has to deal with people who have been told something versus what was actually stated, and so on. A lot of things may be taken out of context or not stated clearly to begin with, or if you find something that is easily misguided or miscast, I should say, I think that creates a lot of, and sometimes it's just a matter of sitting down with someone and getting to know them and realizing, oh, this person's not an ogre after all, and they didn't really say that. And I think that works on both sides of the spectrum as well. Well,
I just would like my generation to remember what news was when we were growing up. And when we're talking the evening news with Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather, that's what we watched, and obviously KDKA television. And I think in a lot of ways, social media has taken away, which I still believe is a crown jewel, and I think is one of the reasons why we do such a good job here at KDKA Radio News. And maybe because of her background, a little bit of both, that recipe will be successful. And maybe people will start going back to network news again, maybe younger people, and not necessarily be so plugged into whatever they see on their phone, social media-wise, that's being the gospel. Maybe we'll actually start to get dialogue and what you all in the journalism profession call the backstory.
Yeah. I mean, and plus the other thing, too, with social media, you and I will get alerts from Odyssey Legal, just reminders of things you can and cannot say. They go out to everyone. They're not specifically targeting you and me, but everyone gets those. And it's because Odyssey is viewed as a publisher in this case, and they have a bearing on what happens, what comes out of our mouths sometimes. If someone says something on social media, they can pretty much say whatever they want. They don't necessarily go through any legal training to understand what you can and what you cannot say without having severe implications coming out of that, possibly being sued for what's being said, or just presenting something not completely accurately. And I think that's a big problem, that anyone has a license to say what they want on social media without having to take the same training that we do.
But it was one of the things that I remind my children all the time, because they're very involved in it. You still have to be respectful.
Right.
I mean, I don't care who, what, when, where.
Well, accurate. I mean, that's the thing.
Accuracy is right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. There's no facts sometimes. It's more fiction, and people take it as gospel.
Right. And if you're getting your news from memes, you probably should pick up a paper someday or something, or log on to a website or listen to a radio station that does news every
hour. All right, so before I let you go, and I know where this is going to go. It's the 25th anniversary of Jim Carrey's Grinch being released. Oh. So how about you with Christmas? Are you a big Christmas guy?
In what way?
I mean, there it is. See? In what way? And, I'm thinking, this has been such a great dialogue. Do I throw something in there that kind of, stay right there, because I'm not going to let you get away. Stay right there. We'll come back. David Ballarado, one more short segment next with your Pratt Pack. A little extra hour to talk about everything. This is kind of like our potluck hour, if you will, today on KDKA.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Delicious December savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Sugardale semi-boneless whole hams, $1.29 a pound. California Sunkissed Nave Orange is 6 for $2. And selected varieties of Tide Simply Laundry Detergent, 31 to 32 ounce bottles, $1.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Amish Country Farm brand spiral cut ham, $2.99 a pound. Selected varieties of Sugardale bacon, 1 pound package, $3.99 each. In our produce department, golden ripe pineapples, $2.99 each. And baby Bella mushrooms, 10 ounce package, 2 for $6. In our deli department, Cooper's yellow or white sharp American cheese, $5.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of wishbone salad dressing, 15 ounce bottles, 2 for $5.
So get in on the delicious December savings happening right now at Coons Market. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so let's wrap it up here with David. So what's a typical holiday for David Ballarado? Like me, a bachelor. I'm middle-aged. You're. I guess you are too. Yeah. So what's it like? What do you do?
Come to work, just like you.
So there's like no stocking hung by the chimney with care.
No, I since I've been out on my own since I graduated, I've really never done that, and part of it is
no lights at all.
No, and it's really just comes down to matter of laziness, really. I don't see the sense of putting something up for a couple of weeks and then taking it down. So.
What I tell you, folks, Grinch ain't got nothing on David Ballarado. I mean, was there any type of holiday drink you enjoy, or?
Well, I don't drink anymore, right?
Oh, I meant like no, I know, like eggnog. I'm talking about. No, I know you don't drink anymore.
No. When I used to drink around Christmas time, I used to drink Coke Classic with Jim Beam in it, but that was, that was it. That was the extent of it.
So I said to Dave the other day, and I love this guy. Dave doesn't drink anymore. And I said, do you miss it sometimes? And usually he thinks everything through and he won't, yes, I miss it. But you're much better off right now where you are. How about a dessert or a food, something that you enjoy for the holidays? And when you go back to Elk County where they get weather like this, like I said, Clearfield, where they get snow like this all the time?
No, I mean, because I just don't enjoy baking or anything like that. So I mean, if I see Christmas cookies at the supermarket, I'll probably buy some. But I won't.
From what I understand, you do have one tradition that you just started last year, and you may be doing it again this year, spending 9 hours in front of the cooler at Coons Markets doing the Feast of the Seven Fishes. You really added to that show last year. It was nice.
No one could see me.
Well, we'll have our boss, Mr. Kamancic, work on that. But we got to be honest about something else. And the reason I'm talking to David a little bit longer than normal, this has only happened to me 2 times in all the years I've been in broadcasting. And it happened on a Sunday years ago. and my man Alonzo was there for me too. I don't know what happened. I was fine, got up, no flu symptoms, no anything. And about 5:20 in the morning, all of a sudden, this wave of like nausea came over me. Yeah. And you know, you've been there. Yeah. And I mean, I broke out in a cold sweat like James Brown working at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I was drenched. And I feel a little bit better now and got real dizzy. But it was about an hour or so that I just was like trying to get my balance back. And I'm okay now, but man, when that happens, that's especially when you're on the radio.
Right. You feel better though.
You
look a little bit better than you did earlier this morning.
I know. I'm just thinking, poor Alonzo's in there. We got these monitors, and I go to a commercial, and the next thing you know, I'm leaning to the left just in case by the wastebasket. But I'm okay now. But I literally had to put my overcoat on for a while just to kind of, I don't know, dry out here a little bit. But that's only happened to me twice in this business. Because people say to you all the time, when you're out, doing a speaking engagement, well, what do you do if you get sick? That's almost like that's like saying he's got a no-hitter in the ninth inning. You know what I mean? Right. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever actually because you're a news guy, so you're not really on like for a long period of time, but has that ever happened to you?
No, because if it did, I would just, I would have to call off or something like that. The worst case I ever had was, I think I had something like salmonella, but that was not whenever I was working in news in that capacity. But, luckily, I've been able to not have that happen. I've had hysterical coughing fits sometimes.
Right.
The thing that used to get me more than anything else was the case of the giggles sometimes, which would just come on
at the wrong time.
Right.
Listen, I can tell you, and the priest that put up with me through the years, I'd go to like a funeral or something, and all of a sudden. Yeah. Or a wedding, and I start laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah, I remember one time at the station where I used to work, we would read community bulletin boards, and I remember two that I just fell apart. One was for a group of medical school students at Pitt who were doing a show, and it was called Saving Ryan's Privates.
What? What?
And I read that cold, and I just cracked up. And another one, they were talking about a group that was creating, it was a sewing class, and they said everyone who completed it was going to get a strawberry pincushion when they were done. And for some reason, it just popped into my head. And again, I just went into
remember, I need this job. So whatever you're going to say, think what you're going to say.
No, I just started laughing when I was thinking of that, and that used to be the thing that got me more than anything else.
Well, you have a very contagious laugh for sure, but. What people don't realize, I mean, you can call off if you're sick at home, but if you're here and it's a Sunday morning, it could have been like David Ballarado hosting the Coons Cooking Hour, but it came and went rather quickly, and I seem to be okay now. But I will say this, I had a piece of very old chicken late last night that I maybe shouldn't have had, and it's not from anybody like Coons Market. It's something I got when I was on the road and looking to grab something to eat.
How old?
Yeah, and I'm just saying that might have been an issue.
How old was it?
Over a week.
Well, yeah, you probably should have done that, but I don't think it would have been salmonella, or you would still be
out of it.
Yeah, you would.
What could it have been? Frank and I were saying, I've had like a couple of times in my life low blood sugar, where maybe you just kind of, and I didn't really, as they say, get that sick to my stomach, but I felt off there for a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, one time I did have something that I was a spice that I wasn't used to, and that really made me sick for a couple of days afterwards.
Well, here's the story. And I asked Doug, because, he worked many years in paper, and in the paper, I want to know, if, God forbid, that would have been the end right here, you think I'd have been on the front page of the PG?
I'm sure you would have been.
But I've been the lead story with Rasmussen tomorrow.
Not only that, but remember, we've got these cameras here, so it would have been on YouTube, and it would have probably been on the national news.
No, because Alonzo, we went to break, and Alonzo's got my back. He'd have shut that down. I don't know what happened to it, man. It's gone. But if I would have made it to the front page of the PG, or I would have been like the lead story with Rasmussen tomorrow, then it would have been a perfect way for me to end my broadcast career. But as I'm getting really dizzy, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if you ever saw the movie with Edward G. Robinson, Little Caesar. Yeah, see? Is this how Little Caesar dies? I can't believe it. I'm going to die like this. Anyway, I'm doing okay now. So nothing other than maybe spending Christmas Eve with me, right?
Right.
Okay. You're the best, brother. Appreciate you.
Sure.
All right, listen, we're going to come back. I got lots to talk about, a couple of segments to go. We're good to go now. It's your Pratt Pack. It's Sunday morning on KDK. Put another log on the fire, make some hot cocoa, kick back, and just enjoy everything that's about to happen on this great radio station that is KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. David will be back in a couple minutes with a news update at the bottom of the hour. And then I want to get your thoughts. Did any of you happen to see that town hall with Barry Weiss and Erica Kirk? Just get some of your thoughts on that. And this anti-Semitic act, that's what they're calling it in Australia. Multiple people dead during a Hanukkah celebration. 2 gunmen, 1 dead, 1 in custody, and a person of interest in custody as well in that Brown University shooting in which 2 people are dead and 9 are in hospital in critical condition. 866-391-1020. Let's go. Your Pratt Pack. Coming back with more in a moment.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Oakmont Bakery. Cookie trays piled high. The Christmas Yule log, the famous oak mater, the chocolate fudge torte, the burnt almond torte, fresh fruit tarts, rich and creamy cheesecakes. Oakmont Bakery is now taking orders for Christmas until December 16th. Visit online at oakmontbakery.com or stop in to check out this charming holiday wonderland. Merry Christmas. And remember, at Oakmont Bakery, we believe in delicious memories.
It's a Pittsburgh holiday tradition. The Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast on KDKA. Rob Pratt broadcasts live from Coons Market on McKnight Road from 5:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Christmas Eve with special guests, special memories, and more. Presented to you by Rome Monuments, Coons Quality Foods, and brought to you by Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh, AAA Travel, Ricci's Sausage, Anthony Jr.'s Pizzeria and Restaurant in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, and Dululis Law on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 14 degrees at 9:30. I'm David Ballarado. Expect the cold weather to stick around today. The forecast calling for an occasional flurry with some more snow later on. The high temperatures today are not expected to hit the 20-degree mark. State police continue to investigate an officer-involved shooting here in the Pittsburgh area. This began with a stolen car chase around 9:30 a.m. Saturday. Police say the driver failed to stop when they turned on their lights, and the vehicle was then abandoned on Crane Avenue in the city. Police say the driver fled on foot. It was at that point that an officer fired a shot, injuring the suspect. That suspect was then treated at a local hospital and released into state police custody. A suspect in the Brown University shooting is also in custody. CBS News reporting that person is not currently enrolled as a student there. 2 people were killed and 9 others injured. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley.
The individuals who are recovering at Rhode Island Hospital, there remain 7 individuals in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged. Those are the 9 individuals injured yesterday.
And the shelter-in-place order has also been lifted.
Investigation with regard to the individual who has been detained is very much ongoing and in the middle of it right now.
Eva Erickson, who is a doctoral candidate who was the runner-up earlier this year on the CBS reality show Survivor, said she left her lab in the engineering building just 15 minutes before the shots rang out. KDK Sports, Steelers are off today. They host the Dolphins tomorrow night. KDK Radio News Time 9:31. Our next update's at 10 on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Winter is coming. Is your roof ready? Call Home Genius Exteriors now and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, no interest and no payments till 2027. Winter won't wait, and neither should you. Call Home Genius Exteriors now at 855-UR-GENIUS for your free roof and attic inspection from one of our experts. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com today.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a bitterly cold day with a gusty wind and intermittent snow and flurries lasting into the evening. Not expected to accumulate all that much with a high of 17. Then it stays cloudy and colder tonight with a low of 13. Tomorrow brings clouds and a few flurries with a high of just 21. Then clouds and sun on Tuesday, high 34. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
So just listening to the Prime Minister of Australia talking about it being a vicious act of anti-Semitism. I mean, honestly, it just is so perplexing. And I look for answers. I pray on it, always soul-searching and wondering why we continue to see these stories of these awful acts of what people do when it comes to targeting those of the Jewish faith. And look, I understand why Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acted the way he has in his life at times, some say being overly violent by retaliating in the way that they have, the Israeli Defense Forces, and under his direction. Look, you have to understand, as we celebrate Hanukkah, a joyous occasion in which many of my friends are getting ready to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah, And I am thinking about all of you right now, and I really was so excited when I woke up this morning. The first thing I thought of when my eyes opened a little after 2 a.m. was today's, the first day of Hanukkah. And I was just telling some friends of mine of the Jewish faith, I saw an incredible movie that I'd never seen before with Zero Mostel and Harry Belafonte entitled The Angel Levin. And I'm recommending it to all my friends of the Jewish faith, and it was on Turner Classic Movies. So I was really starting this, my menorah's out, getting ready for the first night, because, I really love this faith. And, we went through Tree of Life, which was devastating, and to this day I think about it all the time. I have many members who are a part of that congregation. And, you keep thinking that, well, just maybe it's going to get a little bit better, and the world will maybe start to see how we all are one. And then this, and I'm following this Brown University shooting. I mean, basically, it took over everything, and it's one of the reasons why I didn't get to watch the Barry Weiss town hall with Erica Kirk in its entirety, because I was watching cable news and looking at my phone, trying to get the information and seeing if they, got a suspect, or in this case, they have someone of interest in custody, and the shelter in place has been lifted. So that kind of, took over my evening, to where I didn't watch any sports, didn't do anything. That's what I do at my home office, my home studio. When news breaks, that's what I do, and tied into what we do here at KDKA. So it started like at 2 o'clock yesterday morning and didn't end until midnight last night. So I get in here and I woke up and I'm thinking, a little bit of sleep. This is going to be a great day. I'm going to come home later today and kind of light the first candle of the menorah and get celebrating the Hanukkah holiday. And then I get this alert from Fox and CBS and ABC, and I'm thinking, what is this? This shooting on a beach in Australia. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. And then Hanukkah celebration. And I literally started to gasp for air, and I threw my hands up in the air, and I said, dear God, when is enough going to be enough? I think what you should do as you celebrate Hanukkah, you should realize that there are those of us who are not members of your incredible faith, but we're reeling today because of this. As I would be with any mass shooting. The Brown University, horrific. I mean, but they're so commonplace. Pick any of them. But what is happening to people of the Jewish faith in this country is absolutely disgusting. And what's happening around the world is equally disgusting. I don't know where we have gone in our society to where people feel as though, not teaching or educating or even looking at any of that stuff in any other way than tragic, what has happened with anti-Semitism in this country. I am demanding that our courts take it upon themselves at all levels, wherever there is any injustice when it comes to anti-Semitism, the book should be thrown at the assailant if and when they are judged and a verdict of guilty is given by a jury of their peers. I look at all of the disgust and the racism in our country, how blacks were treated, the Native Americans, and how people just treat each other. But what has happened to people of the Jewish race, not just the millions that tragically were murdered in cold blood during the Holocaust, but how they too were discriminated against when they came to this country, or when they tried to start the country that is the state of Israel. All of this. And here it is, 2025. And it's the one story that I seem to talk about on a regular basis. If not a horrific act like this mass shooting, but all of the different things, the graffiti and things that are basically spilling into our streets and simply pointing at people of the Jewish faith. I got to tell you, and I don't know if I've asked any of my friends of the Jewish faith, but especially those who have children my age, a little older, a little younger, but I'm sure it's come up in some sort of conversation. What do you tell your children? I mean, when they look at their fellow students or people like them or of their age, it's like looking in a mirror. Kids are kids. But growing up, when the conversation around the first night of Hanukkah is this, or, on the Sabbath, or, in the local paper, on the newscast that they may be tuning into, sitting with their parents or grandparents, or maybe driving this morning and listening to me talk about it. And I'm trying to be as delicate as possible because I always take that into consideration. What do you tell your children, grandchildren? I mean, all of the incredible things that faith has given us, culture, history, entrepreneurial spirit, everything. I'm so disconnected by this story that I just had to talk about it a little bit. And I do hope that Barry Weiss, because of her connection to Squirrel Hill, Jewish faith, does these town halls like she did with Erica Kirk. And maybe this could be a way. Maybe this could be a way to discuss this issue where younger people start listening and understanding. I remember one time having a conversation with my son, and I'll tell you what made me think of him. My son loved Mountain Dew back in the day, and David brought me in a Mountain Dew just a few minutes ago. And I remember stopping one day after school, getting him a Mountain Dew and a sub or MTO sandwich from Sheetz. And I'm fascinated by history. And my kids who went to Catholic school were really educated. I could tell you things they were doing in high school that you wouldn't believe, but believe me, I saw it firsthand, and their mother, an incredible teacher, helped them every step of the way. So I started reading the backstory of Albert Einstein, okay? I had no idea the connection. He's out of Germany. Thank goodness he didn't go back because Hitler would have never let him come back here. The atom bomb, basically ending the war in Japan. The theory of relativity. This guy was flat out genius from day one, but compassionate, nurturing, loving, but just such a common man, right? But that one moment in time where he leaves Germany and doesn't go back just as Hitler begins his bloody reign, right? And my son basically stops me in mid-paragraph and goes, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Every piece of that conversation that I had rolled out and expected to talk to him about on that way home, he knew it already. He knew it already. And then we got talking about the Holocaust. He understood it, angry about it, and a very meager young man. He's like probably like a junior. We'll split the difference. He's a junior in high school at the former Quigley Catholic. And when I watched him walk into his house after I dropped him off, a tear ran down my face because I thought to myself, that's a horrible story. My son knew all the details, Auschwitz, all this stuff. And I simply said to myself, looking with that tear running down my face in the rearview mirror, imagine how you would feel if this stuff was still happening today, this anti-Semitism. And it is if you were a member of the Jewish faith and you were a parent dropping your Jewish child off. It has to stop. It has to stop. And if we don't do something as a citizenship, those of us that are not Jewish, shame on us. Shame on us. 866-391-1020. We'll take a couple of calls to wrap up the hour. Back with more in a moment.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Bill from Mars. Bill's neuropathy got so bad he couldn't sleep due to the pain and was losing his balance, causing him to have frequent falls. Then Bill found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Bill's neuropathy, and now he's sleeping through the night, can feel his feet again, and has no more pain. Listen to Bill's complete story at marydanston.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bill along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Planning for retirement isn't easy.
If you don't know where to start, join Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors every Saturday at 1 for the Net Worth Financial Hour. Beth shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's get Donnie in here from McKees Rocks. McKees Port, rather. Hey, Donnie, how are you?
I'm good, Rob. Thanks for taking my call this morning. Rob, I agree with you wholeheartedly about this hatred toward the Jewish community. Here's where it has to start, where we stop this. All the entertainers, the politicians, the legislators, the pundits, the editors in newspapers must quit using those terms: Nazi, Gestapo, all of the things that reverted back to that terrible time in the world. They don't want to seem to let it go. So what that does is it foments people who are deranged, but they continue to hear those terms and look up and say, what does Nazi mean? Maybe that's what I want to do. We must stop that. I don't know how we stop it. We seem to gain in popularity, particularly on late-night TV, politicians who we've elected who don't use good sense in what they're saying. I agree with you. It's terrible. I just don't see it stopping.
But where are the parents when these young children are being poisoned with these thoughts? One thing about my father, who grew up in the South and used to fall asleep with seeing crosses being burnt by the KKK, my dad was so like human race, and he taught us that from a very young age about treating people as though how you would want to be treated, judge people for nothing other than how they treat you, and everybody is equal. What in the world, if my dad was doing this in the 60s, where are these parents at today who should be using this story in Australia? Even the Brown University, mass killings, anti-Semitism, hatred, racism, lack of faith. Why aren't they using this as tools to stop this madness by teaching the children so they don't become the natural-born killers in generations to come?
Because your point is well taken, Robbie. Your dad taught you. Most parents today are not teaching their children. They're either letting it be done in schools or giving them that device where they have free reign to go onto the internet, to the dark web, to be with their buddies and start looking at things that they shouldn't be looking at 14 and 15 years old. And it does fall back to the parents because simply they're not teaching their children anything about life. Here's what's right and wrong. They're passing legislation to ban cell phones from schools. There's a lot of kerfluffle about it. It's very simple. My dad would say, you don't have one of those. You're not taking it to school. Case closed. I don't need a teacher to tell me that. I don't need legislation to tell me that. I had a father to tell me what the difference was, right or wrong, or else.
Well, but see, here's the other thing. And look, I'm not saying all parents are going through this, but there's no accountability. There has to be a punishment. There has to be something laid down to that child. And I'm not saying a beating. Something has to be taken away. They have to feel uncomfortable because of what their decision was. That's how you not just educate, but you nurture and teach your children so they don't become one of these horrible, evil individuals. And I'm talking not just the people that are using the guns to kill or to murder in any way, but just the words that are a crime, the things that are coming out of their mouth. And what worries me more than anything, Donnie, is the lack of emotion, the lack of heart, the lack of soul that these so-called human beings have when they spew all of this hatred towards the Jewish faith.
Well said, Rob, but people don't have the shame anymore or the honor that we once had. I can always hear, shame on you. Nobody's going to like you if you act like that. And you started feeling the pressure of that. Well, gee, I don't want to be like that. And they would try to instruct you the right way to go. We don't have that now. I don't know if we'll ever have it again because, again, society moves so fast. We tend to lose our perspective on things. And why are we picking on this particular segment of religion?
It's worse now. I mean, I'm talking, this is like the 30s leading into World War II in Europe. I mean, this is horrible, the stuff that's going on. I mean, the thought process, somebody who waited, obviously, for the first day of Hanukkah to kill 11 people on a beach during a celebration for Hanukkah in Australia. And the sad thing of it is, if you are someone of the Jewish faith right now, are you even going to your local synagogue to celebrate Hanukkah?
I pray for them, Rob. I pray for the country. I pray for the world.
Well, Donnie, I know one thing. As much as sometimes we'd all like to be a little bit younger, I don't think so. I don't think so, because this world is going in the wrong direction.
Wrong direction, Rob. I'm 75, and I tell my wife that all the time. I wish I were younger for a lot of reasons, but in many reasons, I'm glad I'm not.
Well, here's the other thing, Donnie, in closing. I don't think people have any fear of God. I don't think they have any faith. And I think one of the reasons why we had to merge these Catholic parishes in Pittsburgh when Bishop Zubik was basically running the diocese, it wasn't so much that the population was dwindling. And I think it's happening in synagogues. I think it's happening in churches. I think that the numbers are going away because people don't believe in God anymore, and they have no faith-based as far as their family is concerned. No tradition, like you know as well as I do. From my religion, it was Sunday Mass. I mean, every week it was Holy Day of Obligations. Your whole Christmas holiday was planned around what time you were going to Mass. I don't think that's the thought process today. And I think there are a lot of atheists who are walking the earth, and that's their prerogative. But I think they're teaching that to other people, and that stuff is now starting to percolate to the top.
Robbie, just in closing, how many times you go to a department store, Target, Walmart, or anything, where do you see the manger and the baby Jesus anymore? You see the Grinch. You see these manufactured images. You don't have that direction. You don't hear the stories anymore. And I agree with you. We've eased God out. And it's a very sad situation. I wish it would change, but I seriously have my doubts.
All right, good stuff. Donnie, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, listen, I got to get to a break. We got the news at 10, and then we will be back in about an hour with the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show on KDK. And coming up today, Gino DeMarco will talk the college football playoffs. We're going to talk about that Pitt volleyball team headed to the Final Four as they beat Purdue yesterday. Penguins lost a heartbreaker yesterday against San Jose. They take on Utah today. Steelers, of course, Miami tomorrow night. Pitt basketball, we got it all for you, including Ray Fittipaldo will be here talking Steelers football. He, of course, from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So come on back for the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show with your Pratt Pack after David Bollerado gets you caught up on all the news and, of course, the weather as well. Moments away at 10 o'clock on KDK. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Construction on Penn Start, a testing track for autonomous vehicle companies and emergency responders. Commencing. President of RIDC, we have Mr. Don Smith.
And it's a partnership to really bring this testing environment that'll help keep the jobs from companies like Aurora and Stack and Motional here in the region.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Come with me to get my Invisalign. They walked me through everything I needed to know. How long it'll take, how it works, and what to expect. Then it was was time for the real part. They put on the attachments, they blend in with my teeth, they help the aligners grip your teeth and move them the right way. It felt a little weird at first, but honestly, not bad at all. They popped in my first set of aligners, showed me how to take them out, and that was it. I'm officially part of the Invisalign Club. I even wore them at a football game, super comfortable and easy to talk with. For someone who's always filming on the sidelines or covering sports nonstop, this fits my lifestyle perfectly.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
What will you do when your home loses power? Stop waiting for the utility company to restore power. Prevent unpredictable outages with a standby Honeywell home generator by Generac from AirPro Heating and Cooling. Control your home's power and protect your family from power disruptions, unsafe situations, and inconvenience. Call someone you know. Call the home generator experts at AirPro Heating and Cooling today. 800-749-0642. Learn how easy and affordable home power protection is from your friends at AirPro.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
It's Christmas, and don't forget the sausage. Richie's Italian Sausage has been a Pittsburgh holiday tradition for 80 years. From the Ritchie family, Merry Christmas. May your holiday be filled with God's blessings. Richie's Italian Sausage, it's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 16 degrees at 10 o'clock. I'm David Colorado. The snow has ended for now, leaving as much as 3 to 5 inches in some areas. The National Weather Service has now lifted its winter storm warning for the Pittsburgh area, which was scheduled to expire at 1 p.m. The The high temperature for the day is still not expected to reach 20 degrees. We'll be checking the AccuWeather forecast in a moment. Meantime, EV True Value Home Improvement Hour host Andy Amrine says while rock salt may be the first thing that comes to mind for treating your sidewalks and driveways, it may not be the best option.
My favorite all-around product is your magnesium-based products because it's safe for the environment, safe for everything, and it does work below zero.
PennDOT has also lifted the lowered speed limits on local roadways. It had been down to 45 miles per hour. All interstates as well as Route 28 were affected by this. The agency says it is still out treating roads and will continue to do so until they've been cleared. Restrictions on certain commercial vehicles have also now been lifted. A person of interest has been arrested in connection with yesterday's shooting at Brown University. 2 people are dead and at least 9 are injured. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides has more.
The search for the gunman went on for hours and into the night, with the community under a shelter-in-place order. But this morning, that order was lifted. Officials announced someone was in custody.
And I want to offer my profound thanks to all the hardworking men and women in law enforcement who worked through the night to be able to get us to this point where we can confirm that there is a person of interest who has been detained.
And police in Australia say 11 people have been killed and 29 hospitalized after 2 gunmen opened fire at a Hanukkah festival at Sydney's famous Bondi Beach.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. Amid the horror of the Bondi Beach shootings, an act of heroism. Phone footage shows an unidentified, unarmed man running up to one of the shooters, grappling with him and taking his gun. Authorities say he undoubtedly saved many lives.
One of those suspects is dead, the other in custody. The holidays can be a stressful time of year, and CBS's Steve Kathan reports this year is no exception.
People are feeling it.
It's just stressful all around. It's just a disaster waiting to happen.
The numbers are not so encouraging.
Usually only 30% of Americans are stressed, but this year that number popped up to about 44%.
Dr. Marquetta Wills, CEO of the American Psychiatric Association, says there are ways to ease financial and social pressures this time of year.
The holiday gift exchange. Pick a name out of a hat, rather than paying for gifts for the whole family.
The same poll that found stress also found 44% of people say they're looking forward to the holidays. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
KDKA Sports, the Pittsburgh Penguins will try to stop a 4-game skid when they take on the Utah Mammoth. Pittsburgh has a 6-5-4 record in home games. Utah has gone 7-10-12 in road games. The teams meet today for the first time this season. The law firm hired by the University of Michigan to investigate former football coach Sharon Moore's relationship with a staffer will continue its probe of the program and is prepared to expand its inquiry throughout the athletic department. That's according to 2 people familiar with the situation who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the details. Michigan fired Moore on Wednesday when the school said an investigation uncovered his inappropriate relationship with a staffer. He is married with 3 daughters. KDK Radio News Time 10:03. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
I'm talking with John Diagardi of Rome Monument about something he feels people should avoid. John, can you elaborate?
I sure can, Rob. When a loved one passes, their spouse and relatives are under stress. They feel pressure to get things taken care of quickly.
Is that not a good idea?
Not when it comes to the monument. Rob, when the funeral is over, when everyone goes home, the monument is the one thing that is permanent. 50, even 100 years from now, that monument will still be there. Families need to take time to make decisions about the best way to memorialize their loved one.
John, how can families avoid making a costly mistake?
People shouldn't make quick decisions under stress that they'll regret later. For over 80 years, Rome Monument has helped thousands of families create a lasting tribute to their loved ones. And when you're ready, Rome Monument will be there.
Great advice, John. Friends, visit one of Rome Monument's 9 showrooms or learn more at RomeMonuments.com.
Already dreaming of your big summer 2026 family trip? The best homes are booking up right now. Oceanfront beach houses in the Outer Banks, sprawling lake houses in Deep Creek, and family fun condos in Myrtle Beach. When you book your dream home directly with SWAC Vacations, you not only get your first choice of dates, you save up to 15% compared to the big travel sites. Lock in your perfect summer getaway. Lock in your savings now. Get the house you want, the price you deserve. SWACK, SWACvacations.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a frigid second half of the weekend with snow and flurries continuing at times into the evening with little or no additional accumulation expected.